one of the great scenes in college football. The Red River rivalry is heated up. Touchdown Sooner. One man to beat. Allen. No. Touchdown Lehman. He hit it.
You got to lay it on the line every snap.
It ain't going to just be given to you. You got to earn it.
Say goodnight to this one.
Archie roll. Archie roll.
A strike from Spencer Rattler.
These are moments that you live for.
It doesn't get any better than this.
The Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, and the Sooners have made their way out of that claustrophobic tunnel, and they swagger out with a 13-game winning streak, second longest in the nation, haven't lost a game in almost a year. And Lincoln Riley's team, undefeated, about a field goal favorite today. The Longhorns hungry to end a 3-game skid in the Red River rivalry. It's the first edition for Steve Sarkisian, just filled with gratitude for this chance to coach Texas. He won a game as a player here on this field at BYU long ago. Texas has recovered from an embarrassing loss to Arkansas, looks strong in Big 12 conference play. They are the home team today in burnt orange. The one and only Red River rivalry, the 117th edition today on a beautiful breezy day in South Dallas. It is the AT&T Red River Showdown on ABC, presented by Arby's. The undefeated, 6th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners and the 4-1, 21st-ranked Texas Longhorns. Unfriendly neighbors go at it once again. And welcome. I'm Chris Fowler. Kirk Herbstreit will join me shortly. Welcome to this unique spectacle. We'll do our best to make you feel like you were here to experience it. There are so many plot lines, but let's start with the quarterbacks. For Oklahoma, that's Spencer Rattler. He's coming off his best game of the season last week against Kansas State. He told us he was fueled by the hatred from his home fans in a win over West Virginia, and he played well in a very hostile environment in Manhattan a week ago. He has experience in this game. In fact, it was the biggest learning experience of his career against the Longhorns. He played a very poor first half, a couple of turnovers, and in a surprising move, Lincoln Riley benched him in the second quarter. But Rattler regrouped, came out, and in the second half, played with control and poise. That's the game-winning touchdown pass to Drake Stoops in the 4th overtime. He'll look to use that same blueprint from the second half a year ago throughout the game this afternoon. For Texas, it's a first-time starting quarterback in this game, and it's a great story. Casey Thompson grew up in an Oklahoma family. His dad, Charles, beat Texas a couple of times running the Sooner wishbone, and Casey hated OU growing up. His older brother, Kendall, played for the Sooners. But they didn't offer him immediately, and he made his way to Austin. And now, after backing up Sam Ehlinger for 3 years in his 4th start, Casey Thompson gets his chance, and there's a lot on his platter. Can he play with the same kind of poise that Rattler's going to try to show today? Holly Rowe down in the field with Coach Steve Sarkisian.
Well, Coach Sarkisian, this is your first taste of this Red River Showdown, but your quarterback, Casey Thompson, grew up in it. How have you asked him to set aside his personal history and really focus in today?
Well, we just want to get back right to our normal routine and our process to prepare for the game. Casey's done an awesome job all week. It's a great atmosphere. This is what college football is all about.
You guys are running the football so well. That can be a factor today. Bijan Robinson is special. Why?
He's a complete player. He's a better person. I love him to death.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Holly.
Sarkisian, of course, a great history running offenses. So does Lincoln Riley. They have met only once before this preseason handshake. That was recruiting the same player earlier this season in Dallas. But they've admired each other's play calling from afar. And Sarkisian, in a statement about the confidence for his offense, wins the toss and elects to take the football first. So we'll see Bijan Robinson, Casey Thompson, and company. 82 degrees. It'll get slightly warmer. It's breezy today. It's blowing from right to left as you watch this game, and it could be a factor on special teams. 50-50 split, divided at the 50-yard line. Among the traditions in college football worth preserving as the landscape shift over time, this is right at the top of the list. Gabe Burkett to kick it away. Roshan Johnson and Deshaun Jameson, both dangerous if given a chance. Burkett with the wind at his back, drives it to the 3, and Johnson makes the fair catch. So here comes Casey Thompson. He's calm by nature, a lot calmer than his dad Charles was when he ran the offense, but this is going to be a test of all that because of the family history. That's Casey on the left, older brother Kendall on the right, played at Oklahoma and then Utah. And Thompson, not the opening day starter, but he came on when Hudson Card struggled, and he is undefeated in his 3 starts. He's taking care of the football, and there is Charles Thompson. It takes a lot for him to wear burnt orange in this environment. He's a lot more nervous than his kid, I promise. He's swaying back and forth. Bijan Robinson, who's been on a tear, lines up behind Thompson. They fake it to him and pitch it out to the perimeter. And that's Xavier Worthy. The talented freshman's off and running. It's a sprint. They won't catch Worthy. Texas touchdown on the opening play. 75 yards. Xavier Worthy's a special talent, Kirk. Comes off a terrible game a week ago. A bunch of drops in that win over TCU. What a start.
What he's capable of doing is just seen right there. It's been an issue for Oklahoma all year. Missed tackles by the secondary linebackers, and right here, the first play of the game, before you can even get settled in, it ends up hurting them. Xavier Worthy is a true freshman. Chris, you talked about the drops last week. See how he's gotten a little bit of room to work with? All they want is give him some space. Now let's make this guy tackle. Make Jaden Davis tackle you. Poor angle there by Turner Yell, who's coming back from being off a week ago. And then there's the speed. When Steve Sarkisian, who's been in Alabama, tells you this guy's special, it gives you an idea of what he can do with the football. And there's the speed once he gets away. But poor tackling backfires again on the OU defense.
And Sark had a feeling that Worthy would bounce back from that bad game. He got caught up with himself. He caught 3 touchdowns against Texas Tech. True freshman on top of the world. Was talking some trash last week. Got out of his normal game, and they feed him on the first play to get him going.
Yeah, I think it's a great decision by Sarkisian. It's basically what Oklahoma's defense gave Casey Thompson, who, by the way, can you ask for anything better for the quarterback to settle into a rivalry game? And you can see Sark smiling. He wanted to get 8 the ball after last week. He said he's had a great week of practice, and just like that, Horns 7 on the first play.
That's 4 touchdowns for Worthy in his 16 catches in his freshman year. Not a bad ratio. So Cameron Dicker to boot it away. He's kicking it into this swirling breeze. And Eric Gray will leave it right there. So here comes Spencer Rattler. Kirk, we talked about the poor first half a year ago. He's learned from that. You'd expect him to play with a lot more composure today. Hey, but this is Red River, so you never know.
Yeah, I think it was a real turning point in his career after getting benched and coming back in that game. And you could see how he bounced back. You and I had him a couple weeks ago in Norman against West Virginia. He bounced back last week against Kansas State. He's got great talent to work with. Got to find a way to get Mims one-on-one along with Michael Woods against this Longhorn defense. It's just going to try to keep everything in front of him.
Kennedy Brooks and a solid ball game in that hard-fought win at Manhattan. Expect him to get the majority of the carries today. Didn't get much there.
And this defense is going to gear up against this run. This defensive line and what you could call the strength of it. There's good depth. Best linebacker by far will be Zero Overshown. He can really fly to the ball. And this is the question in this secondary when they are isolated. Can they hold up?
2-back look, and they test the perimeter, and the ball goes to Michael Woods, the explosive transfer from Arkansas. Excellent tackle made right there by Josh Thompson, and it's 3rd and long.
You know, so much of these rivalry games, you and I have covered them for so long. It's just the energy, right? Who can take advantage and play with it, use it as momentum.
Here comes pressure, and they've got Rattler. Flying in there was Overshown, Kirk, the twitchy linebacker, and it's a 3 and out.
Well, they bring him up the middle. The back, for whatever reason, does not pick him up. He's right here. Watch Kennedy Brooks right here. He ends up checking out off the fake. Somebody's got to obviously pick up that linebacker blitz right up the middle. Nothing Rattler could do, just a miscommunication into protection.
Here's the punt. Michael Turk gets blocked. Straight up in the air. Jump ball. The Longhorns try to fall on it. And they will have a 1st and goal at the 2. Sarkisian hoping that special teams would be an edge.
Overshown looks like the linebacker who just came up with the sack. I think he may have got in there and got his hand on it.
Brendan Schooler came up with it. They were bumping into each other trying to scoop and score.
Yeah, watch Zero right there. Yeah, he got his hand on the ball. And then it's just a race to see who can come up with it.
I mean, it goes straight up in the air, high. Plenty of chance for guys to get under it, and I think they were disappointed not to score off this play.
What's Sark's slogan that he brought in? All gas, no brakes. I think they got the memo. They got the memo for the start of this game. All gas, no brakes for the Horns.
Now can the Sooner defense come up with a stop here? Texas trying to go up 2 scores in the first 2 minutes. Thompson rolls, flips to the end zone, and he overshot his man wide open. It was Wiley.
What a call on 1st and 10. Right here, he just sneaks out. His eyes are in the backfield. Undisciplined there. Wide open. And a touchdown. A corner that time. Graham just left him alone. And Wiley, who's 6'7", Thompson maybe just, sometimes those ones, he's just so open. He just ends up missing a 6'7" target there, but a great call by Sark on 1st and 10.
Two-back look, you got Roshan Johnson and Bijan Robinson straddling Thompson. And there's number 5 barreling into the end zone. Bijan Robinson, 8th rushing touchdown. The Longhorns cash in the block punt, and they are throwing haymakers early.
About as good as you could hope for a start. Really like the block here by Cade Brewer. Cade Brewer does a nice job here. Watch him right there, 80 on the edge. Does a good job of setting it. Boom, sustains that block. Also a good job by the backup running back, Johnson. And an easy touchdown for the Horns to go up by a couple scores.
Marvin Overshown, prominent role in the early part. Texas, 3 offensive snaps, 2 touchdowns. The underdogs from Austin have the Sooners in a little bit of trouble here. Special teams, as they so often are, crucial in the Red River rivalry. And then number 5 showing you a taste of his talents. We'll see a lot more this afternoon from the Heisman candidate. AT&T 5G Skycam zooming over the Cotton Bowl. That burnt orange section, they're euphoric. They're in shock on the Crimson side. But everybody in here aware that momentum shifts happen quickly in this rivalry. Long way to go. Rattler and company down 2 scores, less than 2 minutes into this. Fair catch on the kickoff from Gray.
Wow. Well, if you just tuned in and you missed the first couple minutes, here's what's happened and why Texas is up. First play of the game. They're able to get their young freshman receiver in space, and Worthy breaks a tackle and takes it to the house. A blitz by the middle linebacker from Texas takes Rattler down on 3rd down. Overshown, then Overshown backs it up by blocking a punt. Gets it to about the 2-yard line. 2 plays later, Casey Thompson, a simple handoff and a touchdown. Horns up 14-0. But a long way to go.
No doubt. Rattler flips it, and it's behind Drake Stoops. Incomplete pass, the man who caught the game-winning touchdown pass from Rattler in the 4th overtime a year ago. This is a sketchy start for this OU offense.
Yeah, he ends up getting a little bit of depth, just trying to look back, and that was a tough angle for Rattler, but a good reaction by Darian Dunn, who stepped in last week in corner for Josh Thompson. Thompson back this week, but Dunn out there. Sark was very impressed with Dunn's performance a week ago.
2nd and 10. Texas peels back. It's a shot over the middle. Catch made. Immediate punishment delivered by Overshown against Hazelwood. 3rd and long again.
He was late with this throw. I don't know what he was waiting on. It's a screen that's set up to the left to Hazelwood. He's late. By the time he throws it, it's into the teeth of that defense. And Overshown, who's off to a great start in this game, just waiting for that and unloads.
Pete Kwiatkowski is the defensive coordinator for Texas. Let's see if he dials up pressure on this 3rd and long. They're coming. Rattler tries to make the play on the move, lost it downfield, and on the sidelines, that's Michael Woods, and they're going to signal a catch made. Some hesitation. They're talking about it right now. It's a catch.
They're saying catch. Now, he went out of bounds. I just don't know, did he run out of bounds on his own? You go back, we'll take a peek at this. It's a great effort. See if he gets his foot down. That's one thing. He did get the right toe down. They're going fast, so you can't take a peek. But he was out of bounds, Chris, further back. I just don't know if he ran out on his own or he's pushed. I think that was what the communication was about.
I think you're onto something, Kirk, because Scott Campbell and his crew, they ran in and blew the whistle. There was you could see the official's hat was on the field. And now also on the field, is that a fox running around?
Yeah, that is a fox, right?
30 yard line. He said the 25, he said the 20. We'll show it to you in a second.
There he is.
He's into the end zone.
There he is. See, I think he ran out of bounds on his own. I don't think he was pushed. That's what that was my concern for OU. It's a great catch by Woods, incredible effort by Rattler and Woods. But early, it was such a close thing, but it looked like, Bill, I think he may have ran out of bounds on his own. What do you think?
The way we do that philosophy-wise, if there's any contact whatsoever, we're going to give the receiver the benefit of the doubt for coming back in and being eligible. He has to clearly go out on his own.
I don't see a lot of contact there. That's one replay they'll look at. Jeff Hansen is the replay official. They use the Command Central, the Big 12 Conference. Well, another look, Bill.
Bill, take a look.
I agree with you on this one here. When he turns the corner, he's on his own. He stepped out on his own, and replay can get involved in that.
I mean, he touched him, but he was already, his momentum was already going out of bounds.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So it's either a 29-yard gain and OU is in Texas territory, or if they take that play back with replay, it's 4th down and they're going to punt again, down 14. So critical review here. We always have a lot of extended and crucial replay reviews in these games, don't we?
We do. Over the years, there's no doubt. This is a big one.
Here's the call from
After
Scott
review,
Campbell.
the ruling on the field of a catch is confirmed. 1st down, Oklahoma.
Wow. They're going to let the play stand. They say that Woods must have been, in their opinion, nudged out of bounds. So OU set up at the 46.
Chris, I'll just say, I didn't even hear him say anything about stepping out of bounds. That was all about whether his foot was in or out. I don't know if they even looked to see if Woods went out of bounds. They should have.
But you review the play, Bill, you're supposed to review all the aspects of it, including that, right?
All aspects of the play should be reviewed, including that. And their whole thing is, if he had no contact, stepped out on his own, it is reviewable.
To me, OU catches a big break.
Jeff Hansen has told us that in his view, he was nudged out of bounds. So the play stands. Brooks for the 1st down carry, breaking some tackles and running free into the Texas secondary. Physical run, picks up 15 before Josh Thompson eventually gets him to the ground.
I came into this game really excited to see Bijan Robinson run hard and break tackles. And take a look at this. I mean, this is a rivalry game. This is how you run the football by Kennedy Brooks. Did not play well a couple weeks ago against West Virginia. Bounced back last week against Kansas State. And boy, he showed how physical he can be.
Jacoby Jones, the defensive end, jack position for Texas, is the one being tended to on one knee. Neither defense has tackled especially well, and so that comes up in the meetings. They got to improve that, or want to improve that today, because these backs are tough to get down.
They are. I think what's happened is, even on that play, they're just trying to hit with their shoulder pads and they're not wrapping up, hoping that the force of the contact will knock the running back down. These are big time backs. You got to wrap up.
So early fireworks, a little bit of controversy in that replay. Texas fans will never believe that Woods was nudged out of bounds. But the Sooners are threatening to cut this lead in half.
Not only a huge play, but it slowed down all that momentum that Texas had by converting on that 3rd down.
Jeremiah Hall, the H-back to the right of Rattler. Graves in the ball game in a slot position. Texas creeping up to the line. They bring pressure, and this is Hall, who's a physical runner, senior out of Charlotte. They use him in a number of ways. He can be an effective pass catcher as well.
And this is what, if you're an Oklahoma fan, this is exactly what you've been waiting to see, not just in this game, but this year. Offensive line asserting itself. Tough physical running. That only thing that's going to do is help Rattler in that play action pass game.
Rattler zips it across the middle, and the slant caught by Marvin Mims, and he's got a first down at the 12-yard line.
And just like that, you get him back. Linebackers got to be concerned about the run game. Brockenmeyer, the middle linebacker, 47's dropping, gives him a nice throwing window. He's able to get away from the corner there, done into the inside with all that space to work.
Seventh play of the drive. Again, Rattler has time. Checks it down underneath, and Hazelwood tackled at the 5-yard line.
Lincoln Riley wants to make the Texas linebackers have to cover in space. Try to get your athletes in that area in the middle of that defense where they can catch the ball and get yards after the catch. Just really good spacing. Always expect that from Lincoln Riley and his scheme. Now you got to finish the drive in the red zone.
Rattler pressured on the run, has to just throw it away. Jeremy Thompson got in there in a hurry.
Yeah, they brought the safety, Jerry Thompson. Just off the edge, they walked him up. You see him right there, 28. Anticipating, expecting the athletic Rattler to be able to pull that. All he could do is throw that ball away.
Big moment here. Field goal, not what they're looking for. Need 3 on 3rd down. On the delay, Brooks patiently makes his way for about a yard. Luke Brockermeyer stopped it to lead 1st and goal.
Yeah, that's a great call. You're thinking about, okay, maybe they try to throw, but instead they go back to what's not necessarily been a strength. It's the counter play that they have been running since Lincoln Riley got here. Left guard and tackle, pull around and lead the way. They pick up the 1st down. As you said, they didn't need his touchdown. They get the 1st and goal.
The old guard tackle, pin and pull. They like that.
They've been running that for a long time. Haven't been running it effectively this year, but have for years.
So a clutch 29-yard pitch and catch from Rattler to Woods. Key part of this drive. They're going to review it. Let's take a break.
College football on ABC is presented by Arby's. We have the meats.
That's just the Superman leap by Roy Williams, who's here. Teddy Lambert is doing the color commentary of the Sooner Radio Network. That was my very first in-person experience in this rivalry.
Right there with you. Standing there, just an low-scoring game. It was 7-3 at that time. Game that every possession mattered, and Roy Williams ends up making a play that we'll all never forget.
That was a long review to confirm the spot. So it is 1st and goal for OU. Rattler keeps it, and he will make a cut and dive for the end zone. And Oklahoma on the board. A crucial possession early in this game.
Ken, you're looking at 2 of the best play callers in the country going against each other. I just love in college football on 1st and 10, 1st and goal inside the 5, a boot or a play action play to get him on the edge. We've seen some great calls from Sark early here, and now you get a great call in retaliation from Lincoln Riley getting his quarterback out on the edge.
Hold on a second. Told they were going to do a brief review of that. They made a review of the fact that the sun's shining today. The way it's going.
You're doing a lot of stuff here, Billy.
Urkic, excellent kicker. Boots it through. And how about this start? Inside of 6 minutes to play in the 117th edition, we got 3 touchdowns.
So you got Hall on the edge. He's going to come down. We're going to fake here, and then you get him outside. This defense is thinking, oh, it's 1st and goal. They're going to run, and then there you go. You get him outside. He's out leveraged. Now the defensive back. Am I going to take Hall? Am I going to take the quarterback? I'm stuck in between. That's exactly. Want to put a player in conflict, and that's what Rattler does there. He's going to throw it, and instead he's able to get to the corner and score the touchdown.
Here's the progressive pylon cam. Spencer told us this week, listen, you use anything as motivation. You embrace the love, you embrace the hate, even when it's coming from your own fans, as it was in that win over West Virginia when they were calling for Caleb Williams, his backup. He quietly did his business, finished that game strong, went on the road to Manhattan and played an excellent game. Really, really well is how Wiley described it.
Very efficient. I mean, missed a couple passes, and he's got confidence, and that was such an answer after the way this game started. We're going to go back to that play, depending on how this game finishes. That third down conversion, when he made that great throw down the sideline to Hazelwood. He looked like Hazelwood may have stepped out of bounds, but they reviewed it and called it a catch. But that was a critical play on that drive.
Sure was. That could have been a game-changing play. Oklahoma comes back to win it. And Winded is back. That's more what you expect from Burkich out the end of the end zone. Talked about Casey Thompson's dad, Charles Thompson, ex-Sooner great, and the emotions he's feeling this afternoon.
I always have a saying, blood's thicker than water. I will always love the University of Oklahoma. People know that I bleed crimson and cream. But for these years that my son has been at Texas, and certainly this year, I'm all burnt orange.
Yeah, he scored a touchdown against Texas. He threw horns down on that day when he was a player. Not these days.
I think any parent can relate to what he's saying. The blood's thicker than water, and he is going with his son, even though he's wearing the burnt orange.
Yeah, he said blood's even thicker than the Red River's water.
You got Texas making a mistake here.
False start, number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
By the way, Charles Thompson was such a bad man. I just loved watching him run that very. Oh man, Jamel Holloway was great, but Charles Thompson was electrifying, number 6.
5'9", 165, Kurt.
Yeah, he could go. He could go. Look, I mean, he ran that option as well as anybody that ever did it.
He said quarterbacks complain about getting hits, but you run the option, you get hit every play. His son trying to avoid getting hit, and Casey scrambles. He's very adept. We got kneed in the head accidentally there after the end of the play. He's not as fast as his dad, different kind of offense, but he's plenty athletic.
No, and that's what I think's interesting is his dad was so electrifying, and Casey is a pocket quarterback. You know, he's a modern quarterback, 2021. He'd rather sit there in the pocket, but as you saw there, does have the athletic ability and enough wiggle to get away from trouble.
Also can make plays on the run as Rattler can. On second down behind the sticks, they get it down underneath, and the catch is made by Cade Brewer, the veteran tight end.
That's what you're going to see this a lot from Sark, kind of a crossing concept, a mesh route. Saw this so much throughout Sark's career, and this time he's just trying to pick up enough yards here to give him a good chance on third and medium.
Yeah, first third down of the afternoon for Texas, converting at 55% this season. Not afraid to run the ball to Robinson in these situations. Thompson looking to pass, early pressure. Did he escape? Still trying to make some magic happen. Dancing around, couldn't get his eyes downfield, and Isaiah Thomas eventually drops him.
Boy, Nick Benito, who is known on third down to give you trouble, and Alex Grinch, he likes to move his defensive linemen around, especially on third down. He's right here, he works to the inside. What you love to see is the linebacker player, Deshaun White, with his eyes on the quarterback right here. It looks like there's a chance there for Thompson to get to the first down, but spying there with White prevents it.
Try to make a Johnny Manziel-like player if you're older, Roger Staubach. And now, punt returner is slammed into. There's no flag. His own man bumps into him. Is this another special teams disaster for OU? My goodness.
Well, it looked like Drake Stoops was back there just trying to make a block and ran into him.
Yeah, there's no flag. It's not kick-catch interference. If your own guy either bumps you or forces a coverage team into it. He got shoved into.
But Chris, I can't tell who the ball hit as it came down. Did it hit Memphis?
First touch by Texas.
Yeah, it hit Texas shoulder pad.
First down.
Yeah, hit a Texas player's shoulder pad. Looked like Josh Thompson, who was down there. Never hit the Oklahoma player. hits 9 right on the back, right on the shoulder pad, and the ball is.
So Stoops got knocked into. If you're a man trying to block it, you don't want to get that near the returner. If you're Drake in that situation, you got to go. The ball went off his helmet, illegally touched.
Yeah, that's where Mims has got to communicate. Everybody's got to be yelling to make sure that they're aware that that ball is short.
OU very fortunate not to set up the Horns offense on a silver platter again. They'll take over at the 16-yard line.
I'm wondering, I want to ask Bill, the ball was touched at the 31 by Texas. Why is it at the 16? That's what Lincoln Riley, I think, is fired up about. You help us with that?
Sure can. That's the touching, so that should be the spot.
31.
Doesn't matter who recovered it. They get the touching spot.
Look at
their
Lincoln.
advantage.
That's what he wants to know. Why is the ball not at the 31-yard line?
They're correcting it now.
With a little help, you'd like to not have to help in that situation. You can actually spot it all the way up at the 33.
I thought there was a new rule I missed or something. There's so many rules that change, but yeah, it clearly hit it.
Maybe we could do a trial thing someday and do replay here from the booth.
You want that responsibility? Would you be faster?
I don't know. I think, it's hard to say.
So Oklahoma's got their footing now. That big 29-yard completion on 3rd and 10. Rattler to Woods. The eventual touchdown drive. Defense gets to Thompson. 3 and out. And the Sooners take over with Brooks in the backfield. They feed him. And he is hit immediately by Overshawn as he made that cut. Number 0 active in the first quarter, to say the least.
If you look at the stats right now, it's not as if Oklahoma's running for a ton of yards, but I'll tell you, there's enough sign there that Lincoln Riley's got to be looking from the sideline thinking, I'll tell you what, I'm starting to like that battle up front. It could favor us maybe throughout this football game.
Braden Willis also in the backfield. Rattler on the move, a lot of space. And he scoots for a nice gain out to the 40-yard line. Gofu forced him out.
That he was decisive there. Came around on that corner, and instead of waiting to try to hope that somebody's going to get open, he just pulled it and said, hey, I'm going to get some positive yards here and make the most out of this. Get us to 3rd and 3.
No pressure. Intercepted. He just airmailed the ball. And it's picked off by B.J. Foster, his 2nd of the season. Inexplicable, Kirk.
Well, it's a miscommunication here with Stogner. Stogner in the tight end. If you watch this, he's right here. The mistake he makes is he ends up running the route to the outside. Quarterback's waiting for him to break to the inside. So a miscommunication there. You could also see Hall a bit confused on whether the ball was intended for him. But that is a classic miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. It's not as if Spencer Rattler's back there trying to throw the ball to Texas. That's a miscommunication. They got to get on the same page.
Yeah, 5th pick for Rattler, but that one is on the H-back Stogner, the veteran, normally a trusted target. He was a big part of Red River a year ago. He caught 6 passes against Texas. Longhorns at their 49. Thompson wanted to take a downfield shot. Now does deliver a strike, and the catch is made by Worthy. What a first quarter for the true freshman.
Boy, is he emerging. You'll see him coming from the left. He gets one-on-one. You got play action. He's right here. Keep an eye on him. Watch him reverse. Go the other way. Get separation. Casey Thompson's waiting. The patience there pays off, and eventually he finds the freshman.
All the focus on number 5, Bijan Robinson. They had not featured the tailback yet. Scored a touchdown earlier. Now he's got it. Breaking tackles, doing what he does, and muscled out down near the 10 by Davis.
Boy, how good is he? I think he's the top running back in the country. They want to get him on the edge, run into the boundary, make these linebackers have to tackle Bijan Robinson. This has been a sore spot for the OU defense all year, going all the way back to Tulane. Tackling in space, eye control, fundamentals. It hurt him last week. And that time, Robinson's able to get some big yards.
Comes off 3 consecutive 100-yard games, 35 carries a week ago, 216. Thompson to the end zone, touchdown, Joshua Moore. And the Longhorns cash in the pick, stretch the lead again.
Well, this is vintage Steve Sarkisian and a great throw by his quarterback, Casey Thompson. It's a man beater where he's able to set up a pick. Has 2 Oklahoma defenders run into each other. Justin Broyles, who's trying to stay with Moore, ends up running into his own defender, creates that separation. But that's a well-designed play by Steve Sarkisian.
Now here's the pick that set it up, the miscommunication with Stogner and Rattler. And it sets up the touchdown pass. They've been waiting for Joshua Moore to break out. He's come so close to big plays this year. His first touchdown puts Texas up 2 scores. Big wheel keep on turning at the Texas State Fair. Nice shot from the blimp. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Anything can happen as long as you have the drive. Goodyear, more driven. Anything can happen to the Red River rivalry. We've seen a lot already here in the first 10+ minutes of this one. Texas back up by 2 scores, quickly converting the interception. And the fair catch made. OU to start at the 25. To Holly Rowe.
Guys, a big development for this Texas defense. Their starting defensive end, or that jack position, Jacoby Jones, a senior, is doubtful to return to this game. We saw him limp off with a right foot injury. They've taken him into the locker room for further evaluation. I have seen number 18, the transfer out of Notre Dame, Ovi Ogofu, in for him, and he's been making some plays. We'll see if he can hold up in there.
Yeah, that's a disappointing development for Jones. He's a guy that brings energy, effort every play, leads the team in quarterback pressures. So now Ogofu will switch positions and come down and take over. Rattler rolling on first down, a long throw, and it was too far for Michael Woods. He throws it well on the run. You see the strength, just a little off target.
This is where the experience of Spencer Rattler has to come into play. He was benched a year ago in this game. He has a tendency to want to make plays happen. Just threw a pick, just got to calm down. You can't make a 14-point play. Just stay within the offense, make good decisions. Don't feel like you have to make up for that interception. This is where you can show some maturity.
They fake it to Gray. Rattler pressured on the run, delivers behind the line of scrimmage. Jeremiah Hall is tackled immediately. Texas defense is flying around.
But Jalen Ford, 41, comes to the right off the edge, does a good job of pressuring Rattler. That kind of blew the play up. But I'll give credit to this Texas secondary, man. Besides the pressure, look at the burnt orange jerseys flying around. They are everywhere, led by Anthony Cook that time. That play didn't have a chance.
Senior out of Texas, really becoming the kind of player they thought he was when he was a 5-star out of Houston. 3rd and 13. Rattler gets good protection for a while. Now they'll drag him down for a second time. And the sack by Alfred Collins.
This is what's called a relentless attitude and effort by Collins. Watch him work off the edge right here. And this is good coverage downfield, but he's blocked. He's handled. But he's never going to give up until he gets there to Spencer Rattler. Great effort.
OU did all that pre-snap shift before the punt, ended up getting it blocked. More and more teams do this. I frankly don't get it.
See it a lot.
That kick is driven into the wind. A bomb way over the head of Jamison and rolls all the way to the end zone. 85-yard punt, 85. Slightly wind-dated, but
got cheated.
He was into the end. Fired up after the block the first time, huh?
Let it out there.
Michigan, can they keep it rolling? Harbaugh's team ranked number 9, undefeated. Nebraska, desperate need of a win. It's in prime time, presented by Capital One on ABC, also on the ESPN app. Michigan only a slight favorite in Lincoln.
It's going to be a battle. It'll be a good game. Nebraska, I think, has found an identity on offense, playing better defense, and Michigan playing with a swagger, a newfound swagger this year.
This Texas offense, Kurt, they got a little swagger. They've run 9 plays. They got 3 touchdowns.
Casey Thompson in complete command so far in this game.
Pop pass around the edge. Moore, who just caught the touchdown, following some blockers and picks up 9.
Remarkable story and everything that Joshua Moore has been through in his life. Back in 2013, his older brother committing suicide. He wears a necklace with his photo around his neck to try to make him proud every single day.
He's making his whole family proud so far today. 2nd and 1. Thompson hit immediately. They tried to get a little tricky there. It's an incomplete pass.
They got pressure. Time Alex Grinch, instead of sitting back, he brought not only Benito, and also you see up the middle there, Asamoah, also 24. They can when they turn it loose, Isaiah Thomas, Benito, the linebackers.
And the handoff on the end around to Whittington, and the receiver, a first down. They continue to use Robinson mainly as a decoy so far.
Yeah, and look how unusual formation. I mean, look at this. Look at this. The receivers are in tight. Now watch the quarterback. It's like high school football. Oh, we're giving it here. We're faking it this way.
Pretty good high school. Look at this back. He looks like a Sunday back, not a Friday night back. Robinson rips off about 9.
Sark told us last night, we think we can get to the edges, whether that's a quick throw to the edge, whether that's running Bijan Robinson. We want to try to work their edges. We think it can set up other aspects of our offense.
Robinson, that time right up the gut, and he just barrels into OU territory. Asamoah stopped him, but Robinson already 32 yards on his 4 carries.
Since that loss to Arkansas, they've redefined who they are as an offense. It's been really Bijan Robinson and the physicality running over 60% of the time, but this has been a different offensive attack in this first quarter that Alex Grinch trying to get his arms around and try to figure out how Texas is attacking.
There's an interesting comment that Sark made. He wanted to try to emulate what he did at Alabama, and they lit it up, right? Personnel a little bit different. Thompson, deep shot, man wide open, caught, touchdown, Joshua Moore again. Texas is pouring it on in the first quarter. .48-yard strike. Can you play any better at quarterback than Casey Thompson has so far?
No, not at all. And the defense is confused here.
My goodness. All those Oklahoma bloodlines, you wait 3 years behind Ellinger for this moment, and Thompson is lighting it up in the first quarter.
But you got 2 receivers over here. Watch how the Oklahoma secondary responds to this. They do not see, they don't have a real good feel for what they're seeing. And now you get behind coverage. Some blown coverage. They kind of flooded a zone, and it confuses the OU safeties. Out of position, they end up taking the crossing route with Whittington, and it frees it up for Moore on the back end of the defense.
As a true freshman from Austin, Latrell McCutcheon giving chase in vain, but badly beaten. And Sark says, I like that one. We thought we could get that.
Yeah, and Alex Grinch said to us, our eyes have been a problem. Our discipline, we haven't had great eye control. We're getting confused. And when I heard that and what I saw on film, and then I thought of Sark, I told him that last night. I said, the way you manipulate things and the way you can try to affect the secondary, this will be interesting to see how Oklahoma responds to that. And there's another example of Sark dialing up a play and confusing a freshman defensive back.
Yeah, confused, hesitant eyes. That's a nightmare when you're trying to stop Steve Sarkisian. He's in a play-calling rhythm right now, and he's got a quarterback who's dialed in.
Boy, it's Casey Thompson. He's a big preparation guy. When he said he reminds me of Mac Jones in the way he prepares for a game, that's a That's a bold statement by Steve Sarkisian. And I love the fact that he's in his 3rd year and he's battled through some adversity and appreciates where he is today.
Ray's going to have a fair catch again. That's an interesting comparison. You know, Mac Jones, not the most dynamic athlete. Thompson's a better athlete, but nobody last year prepped better than Mac Jones as a quarterback.
Right. That's why he had the year that he had.
So once again, Rattler has to calmly do what he needs to do to get his team back in the game, but they're down 3 scores now, Kirk.
Yeah.
The temptation is to want to strike quickly.
Right. I mean, you got to play with some urgency, and you at the same time, like we said on that last drive, you just got to have some awareness of not trying to force the issue. You don't want this game to get completely away from you.
Brooks hit immediately. And Texas, this defense, they gave up 333 on the ground to Arkansas. They were trampled by the Razorbacks. A lot better since then. There is another Longhorn defender down.
Ray Thornton, transfer from LSU. You're right about this Texas defense. Sometimes, you know, you see it, rivalry games, a lot of emotion. Typically that favors the defense because of the fire that you play with in a rivalry game. We've seen that more, obviously, from Texas than we have from OU.
Looks like Thornton's going to be able to walk off. Well, I mean, if you know the history of the rivalry, you know to expect the unexpected, but we've certainly seen that in a pretty frenetic first quarter. Not much has gone right for OU. They're 129-yard 3rd and long completion away from being shut out in this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Texas incredibly well prepared, done everything you'd hope to see, offense, defense, special teams. Oklahoma, you know, it's a team because of Lincoln Riley, the respect you have for him, you don't ever count them out, but they need to put together a few first downs and regain some confidence.
Second and 9. Rattler on the move again, scanning, nobody to throw to, and just fires it into the bench. He was chased again by Overshown.
Yeah, he just kind of is rolling out nonchalantly, and as he's taking steps, he's eliminating options for him to throw to. There's just nowhere for him to throw the football. And there was no reason necessarily to move out there, but he took himself away from the chance of making a play.
Needs a play here on 3rd and 9. Texas not showing pressure this time. 3 receivers bunched to the right. Gray's got it, and they're going to try to get it on the ground. Makes a cut, upended right at the marker. That was Jared Thompson who hit him. The spot's going to decide this. It's going to be just short, and it'll be 4th down. That will be the final play of a frantic first quarter. The Longhorns score on the opening play, block a punt, add a couple more scores. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Deep breaths, ready for the second quarter of the AT&T Red River Showdown on ABC, edition number 117, presented by Arby's. It is 4th down. The Sooner offense on the field with the backup quarterback Caleb Williams in their own end, Kirk, needing about a half yard, down 21. Riley,
got to do it. You got to do it. Surprised he's not under center, but you got to do this.
Williams from Washington, D.C. is a true freshman.
Texas had 12 guys on the field running off.
Timeout.
So they had to get
Texas.
a timeout.
First of the half.
And Williams came in a crucial play. It was early against Kansas State at the 1-yard line after Rattler had driven him down. Took his eyes off the snap, lost it, ended up taking a sack. It was an awful sequence. Rattler came back in. They had to settle for 3. This was the game last week. So he's a situational quarterback, a very talented dual threat guy, one of the most highly recruited quarterbacks in the country.
But he's young, you know, so a little thing like he's anticipating the ball that it's going to be easy to catch, gets his eyes up on the defense, and he'll learn from that. He's got such a bright future. I know the Lincoln and the staff, they're very high on what he can do down the road. More like a Jalen Hurts body and style of player.
Has a 59-yard run. He's got good speed. You bring him in here because It gives an extra man for Texas to worry about in the run game. And Rattler's a scrambler, but this may be a power run they're looking for.
And I thought he might just come in there and do quarterback sneak. They're coming right back with the same formation from Oklahoma.
Brooks to his left. Need the length of a football. It's a keeper all the way. Makes a cut. Dances free and look out. Caleb Williams in the secondary. They're trying to run him down. Dives. Touchdown, Oklahoma. 66 yards on 4th and a foot. Forget that play last week from Williams, right?
We just said what this guy's going to bring to the table eventually. He's more of a true dual threat. But I think he was surprised once he initially got the first down. He kind of looked around like, my gosh, it's the first time I've ever experienced this, a big-time college football. He takes it to the house.
Well, he's got the speed to do that. Got a pretty good arm, too. They trust the freshman. This is the guy that Oklahoma students were serenading. They said, we want Caleb. And that home win over West Virginia, that got Rattler stirred up. Williams did not come into that ball game. Yet another Texas defender is down on the field.
So let's take a look right here, Chris. You have both Willis and Hall blocking here to try to set this up. But watch, it gets taken away. So Williams has to bounce it right there. Then he makes the safety Foster miss. And that's when I said he looked around like, oh my gosh, this is like high school. I got room to work here. I'm going to take this thing to the end zone.
So Riley gambles, middle's own 39. Puts in the freshman, and the progressive pylon cam gets smacked into by Williams as he makes a dive.
It had no chance there.
6 touchdowns in the first 15 of this game. I can't imagine Texas has ever had a 28-point quarter in this rivalry before.
The reaction on the sideline from Caleb Williams' teammates is interesting. It's really interesting to see. They're happy for him, but they're very, very positive energy, because you could sense that they're happy just to see him be able to make some plays.
Now Williams, quarterback of the future. Maybe next year it's his team when Rattler moves on, but getting a chance to make a play and you do something in this game, you are etched into the history of it. And he wastes little time.
No matter what he accomplishes, he'll never forget that play.
Back in 10 seconds. Now we'll look from Ram Trucks.
Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Rattler, presume, is okay with that. It was 4th and a yard, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of not just Oklahoma's offense, where they have a guy that comes in short yardage, red zone situations. You see that throughout the country, and it takes the starter. It takes the right attitude to be able to not just handle that, but to encourage it and to be supportive of it, because it's best for the team.
That was the nose tackle, by the way, Keandre Coburn, who was helped to the sideline, hurt on that touchdown run. We'll keep an eye on that.
Steve Sarkisian has to be very happy with his first quarter, his first play of the game. But this is vintage Sark. Move people pre-snap, affect the eyes of the linebackers. Little quick play fake. Now you create one-on-one. Get a good block, or tackling, and we see a touchdown by Xavier Worthy. Again, pre-snap movement, create one-on-one at the bottom. Man beater, you got one-on-one, little rub. 2 defensive backs run into each other. Touchdown for Joshua Moore. And then here you go after a true freshman corner, McCutcheon, who's from Austin. Fake to Bijan, affect the eyes in the backfield, and he gets behind coverage, and a great throw by Casey Thompson.
2-back set here now. Rashawn Johnson goes in motion. Robinson tries to get the left edge, and they knock him down after a 4-yard gain. Holly?
A terrific first part of this game from Casey Thompson, the quarterback for Texas. And Steve Sarkisian told us, I knew I had something special in him when, after he was not named the starter to start the season, he didn't transfer. He didn't start the first 2 games of the season, but when his opportunity came up, he was ready, and that told Sarkisian he has something special.
Thompson from the pocket. He'll be dropped. Didn't escape quick enough, and Big Perry on Winfrey played a big role in last year's Red River game. Got him.
Again, that is a coverage sack. See a push through the middle. Nobody open downfield. Thompson trying to find an open receiver or a check down. There's just nobody available, and eventually Winfrey, who is a very capable interior pass rusher, gets to him.
So often this game is about a fierce pass rush. Each team has recorded a couple of sacks already. Ellinger sacked 6 times by OU in last year's wild Oklahoma win. 3rd down, they need 10. Sooners rush 3 but get immediate pressure, and it's dropped. Tried to check it down on the screen to Robinson. Nick Bonito got there in a hurry, and here comes the punt team.
Boy, is Bonito good. One of the top passers. It's the get off. See how quickly he is able to get off? Carrick never really had a chance once he got outside of him. They had some room. They had some room outside there. He had a convoy of blockers. A good call on 3rd down. They had a chance, but the pressure there by Bonito just too quick.
Carrick has to shift to right tackle. It's a reshifted Texas offensive line because Denzel Okafor, their fine senior, sadly his career is finished in his 6th year. So Carrick goes from left tackle around to the right. First center from guard, or from tackle to guard. Thompson, not a successful drive that time. Here's Thompson on the follow through, Kirk. Benito hit him. This is shades of the Russell Wilson injury. The issue is his right thumb.
Right thumb, just on the follow through there. Looked like he just hit the arm of Benito. You can see he does not feel good, and then he came over to met with the trainers and tried to throw it. Watch his face and reaction. So we'll keep a close eye on that.
Wilson followed through, hit Aaron Donald, and his status is up in the air. Seahawks game against the Rams last weekend. OU ball, 14-point game. It's a backwards pass. Mims gets it back to Rattler, pitches it downfield, wide open. Jeremiah Hall. Little trickery from Riley, and OU has momentum big time now to the 25.
How about that? How about Lincoln Riley saying, oh yeah, Sark, I've got a little something up my sleeve as well.
48-yard gain. Playing fast. Brooks breaks a tackle in the backfield and is knocked down at the 21. Mims got it back to Rattler, and it's a good thing the receiver was wide open.
How great is this? How great is this rivalry? I mean, over the years, you've just had so many memorable moments. It looks like 2021 is not letting us down.
No. It never does disappoint. The last 7 meetings here in the regular season, all decided by 1 score or less. It's a long period before that where we're kind of lopsided scores typically. We're on a roll lately, though, Red River. On 2nd and 5, try to get to Eric Gray. That was not an accurate throw.
Chris, let's go back quickly to the touchdown. Hall's right here if you want to keep an eye on him the whole time. It's a lateral. He gets it backwards. I thought right then there was a chance, and here he is right here. He's going to sneak down the sideline. Now nobody picks him up. So once nobody picked him up, you knew that when Rattler got his hands on the ball, it was going downfield to 27.
The only downside, you had a 250-pounder on the receiving end, and he couldn't quite make a house call out of it. There's a 3rd down and 5. Neither defense has been able to force a field goal attempt yet. And Rattler escapes, fires over the middle. The ball was deflected and falls incomplete. It's Brockermeyer who got a hand on it. B.J. Foster down doing push-ups, and it is 4th and 5.
I just pointed out where Mims was, and he's looking this way. I don't know why he didn't pull the trigger right there. That's a 1st down. Instead, he's got to try to make something happen, and it throws a dangerous pass. But he had his top receiver, Marvin Mims, right at the sticks with room.
So Perkich on from 39. Reliable kicker. He had an unfortunate moment in last year, had a chance to win it in 3rd overtime. Hooked it badly, ended up not costing Oklahoma. Sooners chip it away. Texas lead now 11.
College football presented by Arby's on ABC is brought to you by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear, more driven. And Dell Technologies. With our new multi-cloud experience, you can unveil your best ideas.
Texas tailbacks who won the Heisman had big Red River rivalry games. Earl, big win in '77. Ricky, 21 years later, those one-namer guys. Bijan Robinson, the guy that Ricky Williams calls Little Ricky. He has expectations of him. 5 for 34 yards so far. The concern right now is the right thumb of Casey Thompson. Keep an eye on that. Showed you his grimace in pain trying to throw the football. They taped up that right wrist moments ago. This feels like an important moment on the Texas side, though. Sooners scored 10 in a row to cut the lead. And Texas offense sputtered the last possession.
It'd be interesting to see how Sark approaches this. It's been a wide open approach up to this point. We came in thinking you'd see a lot of Bijan Robinson. So far, only 5 carries. Now, he's averaged 7 yards a carry. But let's see if he just keeps going with the same approach, or does he try to protect here this initial series after that injury? Does he try to protect his quarterback's right hand?
Have you had a thumb injury before?
I never did. Never did. You know, that's usually a follow through, or when you're trying to brace yourself from a fall. Thumb is a painful injury.
They pull it and deliver a slant right on target. No problem with the thumb that time, and it's Whittington out across the 40.
Does a really good job of the ball placement. And he might have been grimacing on the sideline, but not at all. That throw to Whittington put some velocity on it, too.
Now Robinson makes a spin move to the open field. That was a pretty spectacular 6-yard gain there.
He's a human joystick. Grimes didn't have much of a chance. Reggie Grimes, 14. And backside pursuit, you better be ready. I mean, 5's going to run any. That play's designed to go right, and he spins it back to the left.
Thompson rolls, pressured, and threw it right into traffic. Hit off a lineman there. Brian Asamoah brought the heat. Thompson knocked down.
And these backers have been pretty active at trying to get after the quarterback when he has thrown. He's right here. He kind of works to the outside. He pauses, and then turns it loose right there.
Robinson was on the other side of the lineman and didn't get through to him. So 3rd and 4 now. Longhorns 1 of 3 so far in 3rd. They wanted to get the ball to the right to Robinson in the flat, and then he ran out of time. Pressure again inside. Perry on Winfrey. 4th down.
A miscommunication. You talked about that offensive line, and they see pressure and movement, which is what Oklahoma is known for, and they get spooked. The right side of the offensive line, right here. Watch the confusion with the movement. Inside, do I go outside? They end up turning loose Perry on Winfrey, who flushes Thompson out of the pocket.
I think the thought was to get the ball to Robinson in the right flat. He had some room over there.
Pressure was too quick.
So Cameron Dicker, who handles the punting, they went 2.5 games without punting. They went 29 consecutive drives without punting the football. That's incredible earlier this year. First punt this afternoon. Week 5 of the NFL gets kicked off tomorrow morning, 10 Eastern. Sunday NFL Countdown. Interviews with Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow, former LSU star, and Monday Night Football. Lamar Jackson, fun to watch. The Ravens and the Colts, 8 o'clock on ESPN, both streaming live on the ESPN app.
This game has been about momentum. Right now, Oklahoma has that momentum with 10 straight points.
Been back on their 14. Stoops in motion, and they get it to Brooks. And Brooks rolling into the secondary, out across the 30.
There's a direct snap to Kennedy Brooks. He's got some blockers leading around, and Wills along with Stoops.
Texas barely got lined up, and they look a little dazed, and slow to react right now. That's another 9-yard gain.
You're right. You know, it's as if Lincoln Riley can sense that, hey, we've got him on the ropes here. Let's not let up. If anything, let's go faster. I mean, they'll mix in tempo, but they're not a high-octave tempo team. But right now, they feel like they have Texas on the ropes. They don't want to slow it down.
Brooks again, left side, strong out, spins free. Should have been tackled behind the line. Got very near the marker before Jet Bush got him down. It's just short.
He got through. That was Jet Bush who got out there on the edge. But he's able to run through that arm tackle. I thought he did just enough, but he is a little bit short of the first down.
Be third down.
Remember, we saw Caleb Williams come in on that 4th and short. He's the short yardage quarterback.
I love what you brought up. It's not just designing plays, know when to call them, Kirk. It's both Riley and Sarkisian having a tremendous feel for the rhythm, how your team's playing, how the other defense is looking, and knowing when to hit the throttle.
Yeah, seeing how they're reacting. And it was almost as if for the first time all game, Texas had a deer in the headlights kind of feel to them. And Lincoln Riley and Spencer Rattler sensed that, and that's why they started to go faster there.
It's not just the breakneck tempo. Big 12 has been very different this year. It's been slower. Defenses have had their way a little bit more than we're used to seeing in this conference. Sometimes Oklahoma gets the ball 8-9 times a game. That's very uncomfortable for an offense like that.
Yeah, oh, they're actually, boy, they're really close. Yeah, it has been different. I mean, they're making the most of their opportunities.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the points that they're scoring, but the biggest difference to me is they've not been able to be physical at the line of scrimmage the way when Baker was here and Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts. They've not been that kind of team last year or this year until today. I feel like this feels a little bit more like Lincoln Riley and Oklahoma when they can start to run the ball a little bit better. And if they can run the ball, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
If they can get the shock plays, the downfield plays going, that could help open up the run. That's been a real problem too. They've resorted to trickery today. The throwback eventually connecting with Hall, and of course Williams coming in on that sneak, 66 yards for a touchdown.
Rattler does stay in on a 3rd and short.
Brooks hit, able to plow for a first down. Kennedy Brooks disappointed his play against West Virginia. Kind of took it personally, had a great week, and then broke out against the Purple Cats.
Yep.
Little Apple last week.
Been pretty impressed with him after opting out a year ago. You're talking about a guy that had 1,000 yards, over 1,000 yards in 18, over 1,000 yards in 19. Opts out last year, but he seems to have found his rhythm at the midway point this year.
Hall in the backfield. It's Gray coming in motion. Rattler rolling, looking that way, and has a man wide open. Gray forgotten about by the defense, that kind of reverse motion, and he was wide open. First down to the 44.
Yeah, once they brought him inside, ball was snapped while he was almost at that H-back spot, and then with that quickness, he gets back outside. And you're right, Texas just couldn't find him. Just almost like a check down there, and then he's got such quickness after he catches the ball.
3 years at Tennessee. Very effective pass receiver as a running back. They take it to Gray. Rattler caught up in traffic and loses the ball on the ground. Texas say they have it. It's a turnover. Overshawn, who's had a monster first half, recovered it. Ben Davis knocked it out of Rattler's hands.
How about Ben Davis, who hadn't played a ton this year, the Alabama transfer, knocks that ball loose. And again, Spencer Rattler trying to make a play, trying to keep a play alive. Ball gets away from him, and Ben Davis, to his credit, taught to attack the football. And there's Overshawn quickly jumping on top of it.
That's the first time the Sooners have lost a fumble this season. Only their 5th turnover. And Oklahoma fans, that's an uneasy reminder of what Rattler did a year ago in the first half here. Couple of turnovers now. The first pick wasn't on him. That one was. So Texas taking over near midfield, trying to reestablish momentum here. Thompson Flips it to Robinson, and Robinson another spin. This one inside, another exciting short gain. Corey Roberson on the stop.
This Oklahoma defense all week, especially after the week they had against Kansas State where they didn't play their best, they have heard nothing but stopping number 5. Every time he touches the ball, I want to see hats to the ball. We need to swarm. We need to leverage the ball. He makes people miss.
Bijan's got it again, turns the corner, makes people miss, makes one of those cuts, looking like Reggie Bush. In the open field, number 5 still running. All the way to the 1-yard line. Bijan Robinson showing you what he can do. It was overdue, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you knew it was a matter of time. This kid may be the best player in the sport. This kid is big time. Watch Joshua Moore with great effort on the block, but this is just 5 being 5. I mean, you don't know which way he's going to cut. Right? I mean, you're coming up as a safety. He's got physicality. He's got wiggle. How about the effort he doesn't give up on trying to get it to the corner of the end zone at the very end? He dives to try to get to the pylon.
There's the progressive pylon cam. And Ellison saved the touchdown, but it's 1st and goal. They fake it to Robinson. Pitch it across the middle. Touchdown caught. Jared Wiley. What a drive from Texas. That was a lot of Bijan Robinson. 50-yard run sets up the 2-yard touchdown pass from Thompson, his 4th of the half.
That was beautiful. Just what a drive. Ben Davis, the Alabama transfer, forces the fumble. Bijan Robinson with the big run, and then Casey Thompson with a run-pass option for a touchdown.
Went after is good. 1.5-minute strike after the turnover.
And this is what you're looking at is the linebackers. Any feel at all, you got to feel these linebackers. You can hand it off or you can throw it if the linebacker gets out of position.
Thompson has 8 completions, half of them for touchdowns. 35-17. Deja vu. Looks like Lincoln Riley is going to do what he did last year. Lifts. Spencer Rattler, who had 2 turnovers last year, picking a fumble. Same thing here today. It was Tanner Mordecai, who's now the SMU starter. Came off the bench, didn't do much. This time, it's Caleb Williams who's going to come on.
It's been a rough first half for Spencer Rattler. He's so capable, but at times just kind of out of sorts. He's miscommunication with him and his tight end here. Here he's got an open receiver. He's looking at him on 3rd and 5. He ends up coming off of him, throws a dangerous pass, and here just trying to make a play happen. And the ball comes out, and Lincoln Riley tells him, hey, we're going to give Caleb a shot here.
Well, last year, Mordecai didn't do much. Rattler came back after some soul searching and a conversation with Riley. Played an excellent second half. Let's see, though. Let's see what Williams can do. Perhaps take over this game. Make it his job. Brooks and Hall in the backfield. Williams keeps it. Inaccurate throw. Tried to get it to Hall, but it was too far outside.
So when Lincoln Riley is kind of a quarterback whisperer, he does a great job throughout the week working not only with Spencer Rattler, finding out what he's comfortable with, but also with a guy that may come into the game. And in this case, Caleb Williams, who's a true freshman who's never played in a big game like this. So he went over the play sheet with him. What are you comfortable with? What do we feel good about? And so now that's what he's focusing on, trying to get 13 to just settle into this game.
Williams delivers across the middle, and the catch is made. Hall hurls a man and is kind of pinballed out near midfield. Jeremiah Hall playing a big role here.
Yeah, Jeremiah Hall does a good job of sneaking here and getting across. Watch the vision. Sees it open, ball is out quickly, right where his receiver makes the play. And I'll tell you, I always say it, whether it's Dimitri Flowers, there's always an H-back in Norman that makes plays in the passing game, and this year is Jeremiah Hall.
That's a big man hurdling a defender.
I love it.
54-yard gain, and handed off to Gray. And Gray makes a cut, lowers ahead, and OU behind Williams has got something going here.
get that running game going. Remember, Caleb Williams is a threat now. This is a different offensive approach with 13. I mean, he can hand it, but he can pull it like Jalen Hurts would, and he is dangerous in how he runs. He doesn't run like Kyler Murray, where he's so quick, but he'll run over top of you with power. He's built very, very strong and physical as a quarterback.
About 220 pounds. Very few ever ran like Kyler Murray did.
No, I'm just saying he's not that style, but he can run.
He sure can. We've seen that already. He collected the snap, bobbled it initially, and gets the ball out to Trevon West, who makes just his second catch of the season.
And by the way, just because he's come in throughout this year in short yardage and red zone as the running quarterback, he's obviously not, he can be that guy. This guy can spin it. And I think the reason some people in Norman have wanted to see more and more of him is because of some of the intangibles and the leadership that he brings to the table.
Shows you how Lincoln Riley recruits the nation when it comes to quarterback. Going to Washington, D.C. Not exactly an Oklahoma pipeline. Gray, and he's near the marker. Tackled by Brockermeyer. It'll be third down at about a foot.
Caleb Williams was the #1 ranked dual threat quarterback. Could have gone to almost any school in the country. And to play quarterback for Lincoln Riley, I mean, you are recruited basically by every school in the country. But so far what I've seen is a decisive, quick decisions, getting the ball out. Very, very confident in the way he's executing right now.
On third down, Brooks hit it immediately at the line there, broke a tackle, and falls forward for a first down at the 21.
Love that. They're going to go fast here. I love that body lean from Kennedy Brooks. Running hard today, man. That trips off to the left.
Texas barely lined up, and Brooks weaves his way through traffic. He is so patient, and then has that burst when he sees daylight. Bush got him to the ground.
And he's doing a good job on those counter plays of getting behind those big linemen, just hiding behind them. You said the perfect word. It takes patience when you run that. You wait, use your vision, and then it's the burst. But what he brings with that is the physicality.
Sooners trying to bring this lead back under control before halftime. Off the play action, Williams retreating, buying time, rips it to the end zone, just out of the reach.
You know what, man? The fact that he saw him has me excited. I mean, the fact that this is a young quarterback that's trying to run for his life and trying to make something happen. The fact that he didn't give up on this play and just throw it away, and he somehow got that in there, almost completes this to Wills, is impressive. Good vision downfield by the freshman.
See if Riley's thinking 2 plays here. Yeah, it's the first half, but the lead is 18. It's 3rd and 5. Quarterback run, always a threat with Williams in the game. From the pocket, though, delivers a looping throw to the end zone. Jump ball broken up, trying to get it to Hazelwood. And that was a nice play by Deshaun Jameson. 4th and 5.
He got pressured. He couldn't quite come through the throw. The ball is going to be underthrown. It's one-on-one, trying to go back shoulder to Hazelwood. But if you see the pressure, he couldn't quite get his body into the throw, and I think it affected the accuracy. But a good drive by Caleb Williams here to come into this game.
Burkich on for an apparent field goal attempt. If you're Texas, you want to be alert for a fake here. 35-yarder to cut the lead to 15. And Burkich does drive it through. So, first possession for Caleb Williams. They drive it 58 yards, settle for 3. Yeah, thanks. We're having some fun here. Oklahoma settling for 3. The lead is 15. Sooners will get the football to begin the second half. Texas won the toss and took it. Pitch to boot it away. Now let's see what the Bear has got cooked up. Chris Felica with the Affleck trivia question today.
Yeah, this is, of course, Steve Sarkisian's first year at Texas and the Longhorns with a 15-point lead right now, and that got us to thinking for today's Affleck trivia question. Which first-year head coach holds the record for largest win in the Red River Showdown?
Well, Mac Brown, the last Texas coach to win the Red River Shootout in his opening season. Makovic did it before that.
Well, you did your.
That's on the Texas side. Well,
it's pretty well done there.
A couple guys since then. Charlie Strong did not get it done. And here's Robinson, makes a cut. He's wrestled down, but it's a 5-yard gain. Reggie Grimes got him down.
Yeah, that lowers his yards per carry down to 10.9.
Slacking.
Man, is he fun to watch. I've got so many texts from people saying this is the first time they've seen him. Their eyes are open. Wow, this Bijan Robinson is fun to watch and legit. I mean, he makes people miss every time he touches the ball.
He's wearing 5 to honor Reggie Bush. That was his boyhood idol, like so many other guys of his generation. Very few have been able to somewhat emulate what Reggie did. Of course, Sarkisian well acquainted with Bush. And, there are very few guys. He's a generational talent, Reggie Bush, but Bijan Robinson showing you why there's such a buzz building in Austin.
Well, I think he has everything. Vision, patience, power, balance, burst. He's got the vision. When you see a defender coming, there's spin moves. He can run through you. He can run around you. He can run by you. I mean, he's got it all. And he's the most humble guy, they say, on the roster.
There was some confusion. The end around was taken by Worthy. He nearly collided with Robinson. Kind of bumped into him, but they moved the sticks.
But it worked.
A lot of traffic there.
We've seen him in short yardage get under center, and at time he'll try to do it. But the most important thing is neither one of them had the ball. He gave it to Worthy.
That was like me trying to navigate the game day set in the midway when you guys were doing your thing. I was bumped and jostled about like that.
Oh, yeah?
Every 5 seconds. Yeah. Good time out there. No hurry. 2 timeouts. Texas inside a minute and a half. Thompson retreats, just throws it away. He just lofted it from inside the pocket. He got pressure from
I
Benito.
don't know about that.
Sooner fans hollering for intentional grounding, and they are conferring right now.
He's obviously in the pocket, under pressure, and just threw it. The closest receiver was the tight end, Cade Brewer.
Here comes the flag for grounding. Brewer wasn't that close to it.
No, it's pretty obvious he was just throwing it away to survive. Inside the pocket, Benito pressures, just throws it away.
And Oklahoma pass rush is beginning to impose. They were, as you said, confused, off balance early in this game. And you've given up 35 points. Texas hasn't even run 30 plays yet. But the pass rush has begun to put Thompson under pressure. And that penalty, basically the same as a sack, makes it 2nd and 21. Thompson launching downfield, battle on the edge, diving catch by Worthy. The true freshman having a spectacular first half.
Well, he's going up against Jaden Davis. Jaden Davis surprised. I mean, Worthy got right by him at the line of scrimmage. That was over at the line of scrimmage, and then it's a foot race and a perfectly placed ball where the young man can go out, lay out, and come up with a big catch.
43-yard gain. Texas trying to play quickly here before they can stop and check that catch. And it looks like they couldn't get the play off. Just want to be sure, and they are being sure of everything, that he controlled the ball to the ground.
Jaden Davis acted like he was surprised at the line of scrimmage. The ball
player was
snapped.
down at the 32-yard line. First down.
Okay, that didn't take long. But Xavier Worthy, Kirk, targeted 3 times. He's caught 3, but for 141 yards. How's that average? 75 on the opening play of the game, 43 on that one.
Yeah, and Sark sticking by him despite not having a great game, some drops last week. He's just a young guy. Of course he's going to stick by him, but he's showing you what he's capable of doing. But Jaden Davis that time surprised.
Play action. Thompson has time. A long route, and that time he overshot Worthy. He was running free again, though.
One thing about Sark and how he attacks the defense, if he sees that he has a matchup, much like you see in the NFL, he's not afraid to go at it and go at it and go at it until you as a defensive coordinator fix it. Right now, he thinks that he has a matchup with Worthy against Jaden Davis, and he's trying to exploit that 8 against 4 matchup.
And he's trying to hit the gas and build this lead before halftime. This is Robinson running left. That time he's wrestled down. Great job containing him that time. Jordan Kelly, one of the backups on that defensive line, made the stop.
Anytime you tackle him before he gets going, it's a win.
They're not spending a timeout here, and no urgency on 3rd and 9. They're in Cameron Dicker's field goal range, and now they're going to signal a timeout with 14 seconds to go. Okay, well, we have the timeout. Check back with Chris Felica. The year was, or the question was, the first year coaches in the Red River rivalry, the biggest margin of victory. Is that what it was?
That was the
tempted to say, like,
trivia question. You are correct.
There's a lot of them. Switzer, Wilkinson, the Oklahoma side.
You did nail the Texas one, which was Mac Brown, the 34-3 win. But the answer to today's athletic trivia question is Barry Switzer. The year was 1973. And
he was in his 30s.
What was the score?
He was in his first year, and the Oklahoma Sooners were a 52-13 winner over Texas State.
That gets your career off to a good foot. When you come, you're new at your school, and you can bludgeon the rival in your first time. That's what Sarkisian's trying to do here. It becomes an instant statement win, and the folks feel great about it. It's got recruiting momentum. Texas, as the home team, has 90 recruits here. 90 watching this ball game.
He's got him spread out, and he's got some one-on-one matchups across the board.
Roshan Johnson is the back. Here comes late pressure. Thompson delivers a long throw, and the catch is made by Whittington. Clock ticking down now. They might regret not calling the timeout quicker, Kirk. There's only 5 seconds to go.
Sark is standing right next to the official. The clock stops, obviously, with the first down, and he's got his hand up. Now he calls the timeout. He's going to get the field goal.
Yeah, but it was the previous play.
I'm with you.
They let things tick down.
And you could attack the end zone.
Yeah.
And the way they're throwing the ball in these one-on-one matchups, take a shot or two into the end zone, right?
Yeah, the difference between being up 15 with the other team getting the ball to start the second half and being up potentially 22 if they had scored a touchdown is enormous, as it is Dicker for his first field goal attempt. 338 points in his career. That's number 3 for the moment as a kicker at Texas. He can jump up to number 2. He can pass Phil Dawson on that list if he knocks this through. Of course, Dicker heroics as a young kicker in this rivalry with a winner. Had one blocked a year ago. From 38 yards to make the lead 18 at the break. And Dicker, the kicker, hometowner from Austin, knocks it right through. 345 total yards for Texas, 292 for the Sooners, but some crucial mistakes and a special teams play. Rattler hold as he was last year. We'll see if it's Caleb Williams to start the third quarter. 38-20 Longhorns. The State Farm halftime report coming up right after these messages from the studio.
Texas and Oklahoma.
UT, man, what's up?
The Red River rivalry is heated up.
Set for the second half, the 117th AT&T Red River Showdown on ABC, presented by Arby's. This Big 12 collision here on ESPN. Not many in the rich history that goes back to 1900 have been as electric as that first half. Texas 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes. Oklahoma scraped and clawed, but it's been a big play UT offense and a quarterback change now to begin the third quarter for Oklahoma.
Yeah, we'll see what Caleb Williams can do, see if he can make plays running and throwing. I thought we might see him run the ball a little bit more when he came in.
I say it's a change. Obviously, Williams came in because there was this episode of deja vu for Rattler last year against Texas. Throws a pick. It's Overshawn who's making a play today too. And then the fumble in traffic, and eerily similar to what happened here. Miscommunication with Stogner, Kirk, and the pick. And then, as you said, just trying to do a lot and losing the ball in the pocket.
It's the play where he tried to make something happen. His last play that he's been on the field, and sit him down, give Caleb Williams a shot. And remember, last time he was out there, Caleb Williams was more distributing the ball. He's known as a guy who can run it and throw it. See if they use his legs a little bit more now that they've had a chance to go in and talk about that.
Yeah, the plot twist is that a year ago, Rattler comes, it is a spin move from Williams, juke, open field, making guys look foolish, electric, true freshman.
Yeah, just talked about, utilizing his legs. And I think that, Lincoln Riley went in there, the little zone read, so he can hand that a ball off or pull it depending on the read. He pulls it out, and then he borrowed a spin move from Bijan Robinson there and got some more yards. He's dangerous in the open field.
UT defense would have prepared a little bit for Williams, but now they're seeing a whole different looking offense. And it's Brooks. Bounced off one man, then hit hard by Overshawn. What a game he's playing.
He has really shown up today from the very beginning. The opening drive for Oklahoma. Blocked a punt on their first series, so he has been dialed in.
Not sure it's a 0 in his shirt. It's an O for Overshawn, and he has repped the family name well here. 6'4", long arm guy out of Arp, Texas. Brooks bounces off a man and able to fall forward. Couldn't get into the ground. Eventually, Cook got him down, but Overshawn that time a missed tackle.
Yeah, that's as you said. Overshawn is flying around. He had a chance for a TFL, but the physicality of Kennedy Brooks that we've seen a lot of today bounced off that, and he gives Caleb Williams a much better chance here on 3rd down and 5.
Overshawn flies around so fast. He does miss a fair number of tackles, being a little bit out of control sometimes. Gray is the back. Williams from the pocket, looking to escape, and delivers a strike on the sidelines. Catch made by Michael Woods. Now they're saying, the Texas saying incomplete. What is the ruling?
Well, I don't know if he completed the process of the catch. I mean, he gets his toe down, but watch the football.
Jaron Thompson in coverage. I think he did get the toe down for sure, right there.
Yeah, the toe's down, but watch. Let's see whether you can't tell. I mean, I think the ball came out. It's the part you can't see.
Yeah, the Sooner fans see the same replay you're seeing, and they can't tell whether or not Woods controlled it to the ground.
Not survived the ground.
Yeah,
4th down.
The ball came out. I mean, he did a heck of a job to go up and get his feet down, but watch the football. So we know that he's in, but there's the ball right there. Incomplete. What an effort, though, to climb the ladder there. Toe tap.
Is there a thought by Riley early in the 3rd quarter, his end of the field, and 4th and 5 at all?
Too early.
Send out Michael Turk, the punter. Transfer from Arizona State because of the Pac-12's vaccine mandate. That's why he's here for the Sooners. Had that punt blocked in the 1st quarter, his first attempt. Set up a touchdown. Gets this one away. And drifting back, Jamison makes the fair catch at the 7-yard line. Beautiful day for the blimp. Breezy overhead the Texas State Fairgrounds. Goodyear with our aerial coverage, making the plays that move you forward. Goodyear, more driven.
Fans here still, what a beautiful sight, by the way, at the State Fair. Nothing like this setting. And if you've never been here, from the 50 around to the other side of the 50, burnt orange, and then vice versa. I mean, it's crimson and cream and burnt orange. It's
over to your left is pigs and cows too. There's livestock very nearby the stadium. That's kind of what the State Fair, that's part of what it's about, right? There's the prize bull competition. And get you to judge that some year.
After the game, we'll do it.
Robinson into heavy traffic, and he's slammed down by Isaiah Thomas for a loss. Holly?
Well, guys, Lincoln Riley obviously started Caleb Williams in the 2nd half, and he said it was turnover related. We cannot turn the ball over. That's why Spencer Rattler's on the sideline. And then I asked him about tackling Bijan Robinson. How can they stop him better? And he said, we've had guys in position. We're missing tackles. He said, also, we're over pursuing. He's so good on the cutback. We have to stop over pursuing on Bijan Robinson.
Well, they got him for a 4-yard loss, Holly, on that play. And now Thompson from the end zone checks it down and slammed to the ground. Nick Benito got Bijan down that time.
Casey Thompson has settled into his first start in this rivalry pretty well. Look at those names. All times, Bradford, Murray, Jason White. Texas now with Casey Thompson on the board.
Heisman. Oh, you on the left.
So pressure.
Yeah. Now he needs 12, though. Pin back. Oh, you showing pressure. That's Benito creeping up on that left side of the pass rush. And there's a flinch.
The left guard finally.
Took a long time.
It took forever. Tough.
False start. Number 68. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. Third down.
He cut down on penalties today. Well, Bevo, he's like you. He's got to have a fan by air conditioning.
Oh, you got to love Bevo. Keep the flies off him.
Yeah, that O-line, now they know a sack in the end zone is going to be a safety. Thompson back in that burnt orange paint, looking for somebody, delivers a long throw, no chance, just delivered it into the bench, 4th down.
Go back to when you said you think Lincoln's thinking about maybe going for it, and I thought maybe a little early. He did a good job with his special teams, pinned them deep, and then relied on the defense to come up with a 3 and out. Now they're going to get the football in very favorable field position here.
Yeah, the key, they got Texas behind the sticks.
Yep.
Tackling Robinson for a 4-yard loss on 1st down. Marvin Mims is the punt returner. He's standing at the Texas 41. Kicker gets it away, and it's Mims right there for a fair catch. So tremendous field position for Oklahoma as they're trying to cut into this 18-point lead. That's what we're talking about. True DNA of the state fair down there. Such nutritious food here at the Texas State Fair. Did you get yourself a corn?
No, I did not. I missed out.
College Football Playoff National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. Of course, one of the 2 semifinals is the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, played over at AT&T Stadium on New Year's Eve, as well as the Cap One Orange Bowl. Indianapolis, the scene of the championship game. So Caleb Williams and the Sooners, after that exchange of punts, great field position, starting in plus territory. And Brooks breaks free. And shoestring tackle prevents a bigger gain. Foster got him down, but he gained 9.
Just a really good job of navigating in the interior there. Picked up a block by Chris Murray, who was able to climb up to that 2nd level.
Right tackle Kirk Tyrese Robinson, senior out of McKinney, Texas, is being tended to. Crucial moment in this game. We talk about all the electric plays, that amazing start. Texas jumping out, Oklahoma trying to get their footing and get back in the game. They lead 18. So unless you can start throttling the Texas offense, you don't have an unlimited number of possessions to get this back. This kind of feels important.
It does. I mean, every possession at this point is very important. I think you see Caleb Williams. I think the playbook changes because he's a runner. It changes because you can now attack with him as an extra number for the defense to have to account for, and then you can still go play action. So with Kyler Murray, it was more with Spencer Rattler, it was really more about what he can do if he had to create. With Caleb Williams, it's designed to let him use his legs. It's a very different kind of offense that Texas is going to have to defend, but there needs to be urgency because of the score, obviously.
You think with Pete Kwiatkowski and that defensive staff, the conversation was expecting Williams and kind of retool what Texas has to be ready for?
No, I think they expected Williams on red zone and short yardage, but this is a little bit of a change. They were fortunate the change happened in the first half.
But I mean, now, do you think they expect to see him for the rest of the way?
They expect to probably see him, yeah. And if you get Rattler back, you can make the adjustments back to what you're originally doing. But I don't know, it feels different than last year. When Rattler got benched last year, it almost felt like, hey, take a series or 2 off, and we're going to put you back in. This doesn't feel like that to me.
No, I agree. Of course, Mordecai last year didn't have the success that Williams did. This is a guy, as you pointed out, Caleb Williams, obviously popular with the student section, as we heard a couple weeks ago, but it seems to be the teammates are kind of vibing off him. And
I really do.
presence.
Yeah, I think he's a natural leader. You can kind of feel that, sense that. I think the team is responding to him. Now, he's got to have to make some plays. I mean, you're down 18 with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Morris in at right tackle, replacing Robinson. 2nd and 1. Brooks pulled down short of the marker by big Keandre Coburn. 3rd down coming up.
Nice job by Coburn, who's a big man, 350 pounds out of Houston, but not only uses his size, but has great hands, was able to get off his block and keep Kennedy Brooks short of that first down.
And T'Vondre Sweat will rotate to that nose tackle position. See what the call is on 3rd and 1. Two backs flanking Williams. He pulls it. He's got grass and the spins. Nice play fighting off the block by Thompson, but it is a first down.
And the one thing about him is he's still a young player. He wants to make the big play. And in this case, you got to know the down and distance. You got to know that you need a few yards. There's no reason to go laterally. Get upfield right now. Right now, get upfield and pick up that first down. He's fortunate just to get enough, but he could have made it a lot easier by getting north and south.
If you're an Oklahoma fan, Kirk, you're thinking, where is Mario Williams? The talented freshman out of Tampa has been a big part of this offense. 20 catches coming in, hasn't even been targeted today. Stogner hasn't had a catch yet. This is Brooks in the middle. So some of the normal pieces that Rattler usually works with haven't been involved yet for OU.
Not yet. Not yet. And I think, we've seen them try to find different ways. Marvin Mims a big target. Really, they've been hitting Jeremiah Hall when they've been throwing the ball. Texas's defensive scheme has been to try to keep all of those receivers in front of them, make OU throws underneath.
Play action, ball zipped and a catch made. Cross for the first down. There is Mario Williams finally. This freshman who's got a growing role. He's electric with the football.
Yeah, he's into the boundary against Jamison and does a nice job of working back to the football, but it's like he was able to still pick up the first down. Gave him a pretty good spot there to get that first down.
Play clock at 5. Brooks turns the corner. They're beginning to key in more on Kennedy Brooks. That was Luke Brockermeyer. Savvy middle linebacker got him to the ground.
Sweat is an enforcer in the middle. I mean, look at him work and just get by. He's a huge man, 355, but so quick.
Where do they find guys who are 355 who can move like that? They're one of the prized possessions, right? On any college football
everywhere.
Team. Yeah. Well, pro football team for that matter. Gray's in the slot, empty backfield on 2nd and 9. Again, they work the play clock. Williams flips it down. Gray tripped up. Overshot 0 on 0, got him to the ground.
Texas showing him pre-snap, and Kwiatkowski, it's one thing he wants to do with a young quarterback is show him one thing pre-snap, go to another. That time they showed pressure and then dropped out of it after the ball was snapped. Had people in position to get after Eric Gray.
Is it conscious, Kirk? Not a lot of tempo with Williams. They've slowed things down with the freshman here. Taking their time again before this 3rd and 4.
Look at all they're putting on the shoulders of a young freshman, Caleb Williams here. They're in the loudest part of the stadium for OU, right in front of the burnt orange fans.
And that freshman gets the ball away off the carom. It's caught finally by Stogner. Tremendous pressure. Barely got the pass off. Ball bounced in the air in an unusual way for the H-back to finally get a catch today.
Well, they disguised the blitz and brought it late with Jerry and Thompson. I don't know how he gets out of this, Chris. I mean, how in the world does he stay up? And like you said, tip pass, Stogner's able to come up with it, but they're down 3 possessions, so they're going to settle for the field goal.
You see the strength. He got lucky there off Hazelwood's hands, and Stogner collects it. And Burkich tries to make it 3 for 3 today from 29 yards. And this gets the lead back to 15. But OU kept out of the end zone, again settling for 3. And it is a 15-point game. Taco Bell, once again, welcome you to the Liv Moss Student Section of the Year contest. Use the hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention. ESPN.com/Taco Bell. See how your school can compete. Should be fired up under the lights in Lincoln, Nebraska. See if Scott Frost can get a crucial win as the undefeated Wolverines roll into town. I think like Corum and company.
Nebraska's been trending in the right direction under Scott Frost last few weeks. I think they found themselves against OU in a tough loss. And I think Michigan has been a great story. It's fun to see Aiden Hutchinson and this team playing with so much passion and emotion, playing very efficient offensively. That's a heck of a matchup.
So Burkich is connected on 3 field goals, kicks it off, and Deshaun Jamison, he's dangerous. Rare kickoff return today, and he struggles back near the 25-yard line.
A lot of big plays in the first half for Texas. It's first play of the game. I was just getting up here from game day and getting my headsets on. Worthy scores a touchdown. First possession for OU, blocked, punt. Texas recovers, eventually would score with Bijan Robinson. And how about this? Missed tackles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's not done. I think he got all the way up to 8 missed tackles on that one run where he had a chance to show you what he can do. And Casey Thompson has been making some big plays. 11 of 18, 246, and 4 touchdowns so far in this game.
Robinson forces as many missed tackles as anybody in the country. That's been a problem for Oklahoma all year. Long throw going down low to grab the ball above the grass is Worthy again. 17 more yards for the freshman.
Yeah, he has done this in the past in the first half where he rolls right, goes back into the boundary to Worthy. I love that there's 6 minutes to go, and Sark's not thinking about let's kill the clock. He's still aggressive and attacking.
Late pressure ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, and a couple of flags come in the offensive line pit.
It's a hold in the backfield.
They were coming down close to Thompson. That was Downs who was pulled down. Ethan Downs, the freshman from Weatherford, Oklahoma. But the standards of this game, it's been almost penalty free, let's be honest.
Holding, number 75, offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, still first down. Sideline warning, Oklahoma, that's their first of the half.
You know, up 38-23. I just touched on how Sark's approach here. They get the ball back. They're up 15. Feels good. But I think that's the background there. He's been around Pete Carroll. He's been around Nick Saban. Some people would think, hey, you know, just work the clock. Be smart. Don't want to turn the ball over. But Sark has confidence in his system and in his players, the way his quarterback, Casey Thompson's playing, that he wants to continue to be aggressive. Now he gets behind the sticks. It may be different.
Hand it off to Robinson. Breaking tackles. Bijan Robinson still running. Tightrope down the sidelines and knocked out inside the 35 by Broyles.
Good job up front. Left guard gets a kick out. Watch this hole open up, and all he needs is a little bit of room right there. Stiff arm, and he's down the sideline. You're right. When you have him back there, it's okay. You can hand it off as often as you like.
Got it again. That 33-yard gain. Kirk put him back over 100. So 4 consecutive games for number 5 over 100.
How about the 35 carries last week? You know, 35 for 216. And we asked Sark about it last night because today everybody has 2 guys.
Yeah.
You know, the wear and tear of one guy. He's the opposite. He's like, everywhere I've been, I think having a bell cow, the team feeds off of him, and that's why he's not going to let up.
Interesting comment. It's not just that the workload is there. He likes what it symbolizes. Whether it was a Derrick Henry at Alabama. He was going back to his Washington days. They had backs that had heavy workloads back there. Whittington on the edge, knocked down at the 25. It's amazing, though, when you have 35 carries as a college guy, when it's double your average and you're not sore. You come back strong.
Because he avoids all those big hits.
Fair point.
He really does. He gets down. He's elusive. He gets out of bounds. He doesn't. You see 35 carries, you think, oh, my gosh, he's in the ice tub for sure for the next day or two. But he told Sark after the game, hey, I feel great.
And they zip it to the sidelines. Catch made by Moore. Is it a big afternoon? And there is a nice open field tackle by Broyles. So Texas, this is important now, trying to add to this lead. They forced Oklahoma to kick field goals. The last 3 Sooner scoring drives have all been for 3 points. So Texas, to get in the end zone here, you start to feel much better about things.
This is huge at this point in the game. I mean, this Oklahoma defense has got to bow up if they want to keep the Sooners in this game. Horns looking for a potential haymaker here.
2-back set. Robinson sidestepping traffic, gets back to the line of scrimmage. He kind of olayed the freshman Downs there in the backfield.
He's the kind of guy that'll get a 4-yard carry and you just be like, did you see that?
Exactly.
You know, his 6-yard carry last week, I think I asked Billy to pull it just because it sealed the victory, but it was maybe one of his best runs that he had because of what it meant, but he made 3 or 4 guys miss. So determined to close that game out.
And that was, they carried the ball 6 times in a row down the stretch to close it out. They need 7 on this 3rd down. Haven't seen Robinson as much as a receiver today as he typically is used. He's in for pass pro, and Thompson throwing downfield, loops it, leaping catch, incomplete. Marcus Washington went up high, could not come down with it in bounds, and it's 4th down.
I love where he put this football. He's got a matchup against the nickel, away from him, up. Boy, that right foot came down just on the line. The progressive pylon cam, what a look at it here. Yep, officials all over it. Right call.
And that is the difference between a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line and a long field goal attempt.
I thought he may have toe tapped it, but entire foot comes down and half of his foot out of bounds. But a great effort. We've been seeing a lot of that from these receivers from both sides, working the boundary.
So Cameron Dicker, 1 for 1 from 41. And seen excellent kicking from both sides. So Texas answers the Oklahoma field goal. The lead's back to 18, 2:45 in the 3rd. On game day, Herbs, you're going to start talking about the Spartans. Give them some love. They're going to be 6-0.
We are.
I haven't heard a word about Sparty this week.
You got to tune in more.
Who's playing the role of a Michigan State fan?
Of course.
Ariel Williams, the freshman on the return. He's got great speed, spins, and gets out to the 22-yard line. Make sure to head to @ESPN CFB, social media now, to vote for your favorite college town in the Football Town Showdown, presented by Shell. Home with the Longhorns. Austin be somewhere on a lot of people's list.
We were talking at the break. Okay, you're down here, big, getting ready to get into the 4th. Do they go back to Rattler because of his experience? And you know he can throw it really well, but they continue to go with Caleb Williams, the freshman.
Long conversation, Kirk, between Riley and his quarterback in that break. And they hand it off to Brooks. Breaking tackles, open field, look out! Kennedy Brooks are trying to chase him down. And they finally do rip the ball out. It's a fumble. The Longhorns have it. B.J. Foster collecting the ball. What a massive momentum swing. Would have been 1st and goal at the 2.
Chris, you feel so bad for Kennedy Brooks. I mean, he has an incredible run, and he's starting to, as he ran, look both ways. And what makes it bad is he knew what was coming. He knew. Watch this. I mean, this is a great job of getting through the traffic. Bounces off. Now watch this. He looks over his left shoulder like, okay, I see you. I feel you. You're coming. Stiff arm. I know you're coming. But the stiff arm to Foster prevented him from protecting the ball with both hands.
He's down, though.
Could be down. Okay, could be down. It almost deserves to be down after that run. And the knowledge, like I said, he was not surprised. He saw it coming. He just, with that right hand protecting himself, he left himself vulnerable on the other side. Then he tries to hold on because he knew Jamison was coming, but he's definitely going to be called down.
Yeah, the knee hits just before the ball is ripped clean. He had 2 hands on the ball, and Jamison was still able to rip it out. What a massive replay review, and the backside goes down. You're right, for Brooks, after that kind of effort,
yeah,
It would be very, very tough break for him, and obviously for the Sooners if it ends in a fumble.
To me, it's just because a great run, but the awareness, the right knee's down. He's definitely going to be called down here. Don't you think, Billy?
Yeah, we've got a right knee down. I mean, tough play for the officials on the field.
Yeah.
But a couple good angles that show possession of the football, knee down, then the ball came out.
Well, too, Billy, you want to err on the side of letting the play continue if you're an official, right? Because had it been a fumble recovery by Texas, it returns in play. So when in doubt, fumble and then sort it out.
Go fumble. At the same time, if you know the call, you make the call. But they had doubt on this one. They let it go.
Again, I just want to reiterate as he's running downfield, he looks over his left shoulder saying, okay, I know you're going to try to take the ball away, but I got to deal with B.J. Foster on this side. And so it wasn't as if he was surprised at all. It was just a really good effort by Jamison to eventually get that ball out.
Scott Campbell on the field. Jeff Hansen is the replay official. The Big 12 replay command central can get involved too. Have to see clear evidence that the knee was down before control was lost, and it's tough because some of the camera angles are obscured by players' bodies. We think it was pretty clear that he was down.
At this point, you got to be thinking they're just trying to make sure they get the right yard where the ball needs to be placed.
It's down near the 10-yard line. But I was just thinking, Texas protecting this lead. They forced field goals.
The runner's knee was down before the ball came out at the 13-yard line. 1st and 10, Oklahoma.
And you're thinking the one thing you cannot do if you're Texas is to give up the electric shock play, the quick spike play to let Oklahoma get back in this. Make them work for it.
But you're thinking it's coming through the air, right? I mean, you're not thinking it's going to come off of a couple broken tackles. And Kennedy Brooks, who's had a heck of a day running the football, he's at 143 yards now for the Sooners.
You got 65 on that jaunt. So replay gets it right. Gray spelling Brooks.
Lincoln Riley at the top waving his arms trying to get Caleb Williams' attention. He finally did.
Play clock's winding down. May need to burn a timeout here. Yeah, they're not going to get the snap off. Riley must have felt it was worth it to get his attention. But again, the inexperience is he's not started a game.
That's where the
spot duty.
Yeah, that's where the inexperience comes in. Like I said, he was waving his arms up there for 10 seconds, just trying to get his attention, trying to adjust to play. And, sometimes I've heard people talk about this recently. Those timeouts are so important. Is it worth wasting that timeout just to prevent, a loss of 5? Just because down the stretch of a game, you want to have every timeout at your disposal.
That's a good point. That's one to remember if, in fact, they do need those timeouts. Trying to, I wouldn't say chip away at this point. They've been trying to chip away. Now they need to cut into this lead. They need 7 here.
And I think Lincoln has to reiterate to the young quarterback urgency. Hey, man, we're getting here with minute 52 to go in the third. We need touchdowns, but we also need to move.
He's got Woods to the right, single coverage against Thompson if he's looking that direction. Top of your screen. Gray is the back. Gray's got it and bounces it, and good pursuit. Strong play on the edge. Ray Thornton, the Bayou Bengal transfer, made the play out there.
Yeah, I'd love to see Thornton doing a good job of keeping the edge of the defense. He's up on his feet, gets off of Mims to block, gets outside, and of course Obershone also right there just looking to clean it up. Texas doing a good job of disguising pressure and bringing it late against the young quarterback with those safeties.
Sooners behind the sticks on first down. Tyrese Robinson, the right tackle, is back in the game for Oklahoma. Pressure off the edge, throw to the end zone. Hazelwood could not collect it. Stretched out. Incomplete, 3rd and 11.
Well, that's what Hazelwood wants. He's dangerous in the red zone. Spreads out. He's got it. I mean, that's a touchdown. Ball's perfectly thrown to the outside, away from the defender. He wins. Just got to hold on, secure the ball, and it's a touchdown.
Nice soft throw.
Perfect.
Underneath it.
Yeah, it was perfect. Now they switch out Hazelwood to the field to the right, and they bring Michael Woods into the boundary to go up against Jamison, who they just went after, and they isolate him.
Williams has to recover the snap. Now tries to make some magic. Touchdown! Could have been a disaster, but Marvin Mims collects it. A crucial score for OU. That was some poise. There's a lot going on pre-snap there. Almost looked like a flinch.
Yeah. Well, he was down to 3 seconds, and he's trying to tell the center, Rame, I need the ball. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're about to get another delay of game. And I think he was so caught up in that he fumbled the snap.
But regrouped, showed great poise, and finally Marvin Mims has a touchdown catch, his first of the season, and the lead is 11.
Yeah, if you look at the play clock, there's 4 seconds to go on the clock right there. Watch his urgency to get the ball off. You know, he's let's go, snap it, snap it, snap it. So that kind of set it off, got him out of rhythm. But look how he handles that. Look at the poise in this big a game to keep it. Now he's looking to work to find an open receiver. And look what he releases his ball. The courage to make that throw between 2 defenders. Great job by Caleb Williams.
At that point, your heart rate's got to be 130 after you fumbled the snap on a crucial 3rd and 11, right? I mean, remember what happened against Kansas State. I mean, he took his eye off the snap just like that down there at the goal line.
Yeah, it was a combination of a few things. He actually was looking left there initially, but he's clapping, going, let's go, get the snap, get the snap. But then the ball goes on the ground, and that's just an athlete being an athlete, making a play by 13.
You think when he envisioned what his first touchdown pass in college was going to look like, he was going to envision that? I'm going to fumble the snap. I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to throw it in the end zone.
At the Cotton Bowl against Texas.
You know, the first of what Oklahoma fans expect will be many. He's considered sort of the quarterback of the future. This is Rattler's season, but it may be Caleb Williams' show. We'll see going forward. That's a question Riley will get after the game, win or lose. In the meantime, 1:02 to go in the 3rd. Oklahoma is very much in this game. We get 2 heavyweights here, and tonight in Vegas, the long-awaited 3rd fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for Fury's WBC heavyweight belt. Prelims begin at 7. Main card on pay-per-view at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Go to ESPNplus.com/PPV.
I'm all over this.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm watching. I watched the second fight, and there was such theatrics for the entrance.
Yes, there was.
Fury was singing a song, and Wilder, you know, he looked like he was heavy-legged after his entrance.
Who do you like tonight?
I'm going Fury.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just a big dude.
Yes, he is. Now the big dude for the Texas offense, Bijan Robinson, keyed into by that Sooner defense, and Winfrey's got him for about a yard gain.
It's funny how I always say that. There's a good look at Sark looking out over his offense. When your quarterback makes a play, it impacts the energy and juice of your defense.
This is a great shot. Sarkisian, Kirk, he's lived 7 or 8 lives, maybe 9, and to arrive at this spot and now be calling plays for Texas in this rivalry, first year as a head coach. 4th quarter coming up. Oklahoma crowd has come alive here. They're on the far end where Texas offense is, but they're trying to make themselves heard.
Well, it affected the center that time.
Snap infraction, number 65. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
He started the snap, lost his balance, and just kind of started to fall back. Cost him 5 yards. You said it earlier, we've not seen a lot of self-destruction on either side as far as penalties are concerned.
Massive emphasis for Sarkisian. They were kind of out of character. A bunch of penalties against TCU last week. They've gotten it cleaned up, but that doesn't help. They're behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. And Robinson's finding running room a lot tougher right now. Isaiah Thomas swarms him, and Texas will face a 3rd and long when the final quarter begins here at Red River Shootout number 117. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Quarter here at the Cotton Bowl. This presentation of the Big 12 on ESPN. Great energy. Kirk, both sides, fans, everybody on their feet trying to create some noise, some energy. They know the importance of this play for both teams. Sooners want the ball back, but of this fourth quarter.
Lincoln Riley firing the troops up into that quarter, heading into this fourth quarter and this third down.
Waving his arms around saying, do your job, do your job, again and again. The job is to get to Thompson, but he steps up and delivers over the middle, just over the hands of Joshua Moore, was running free. Couldn't find him. And here comes the punt team.
Yeah, he had two receivers there, Whittington and Moore. I love how he climbed the pocket. You know, he steps up instead of trying to get wide. I thought he might take it and try to go and see if he could get the first down himself, but a little high to Whittington, who was the front receiver, and a little bit underneath Moore. But OU's defense does their job and gets Texas off the field.
Had a long way to go. Needed 14. Probably feel like a better chance to throw for it. There's no returner back. No returner back, but the ball is going to dribble into the end zone. That's unlucky for Cameron Dicker. They could have downed that ball at the 5. There was nobody back there. 78-yard punt on the roll. Coming up, Sunday NFL Countdown. Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow featured in one-on-ones. Randy Moss ranks the best catches, and you got Mossed. You don't want to be on his list. 10 Eastern on ESPN Live on the app. Okay, so here we go. 17 seconds into the fourth quarter. Ball at the 20-yard line. And a guy that's never started a game before. He's played a couple of snaps. Caleb Williams is now in charge of leading a fourth quarter double-digit comeback to create an incredible, unforgettable memory for himself in his first chapter of this rivalry.
And his fan base.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about
perhaps earned the job for the rest of the way.
Yeah, Rattler on the bench, and it is up to 13 to try to bring him back.
With some help from the guys up front. Rolls out, pressure bearing in on him, and he's hit as he throws. Wow, did he not see Gofu, who was right in his grill?
Well, what I was looking at from up here, and again, it's easy to see, Mario Williams, number 4, comes clean. I mean, he gets behind. He's on like a levels concept. All he needed was a little bit more time, but he breaks clean. He gets behind. Here's nobody. I mean, nobody. If he catches that in stride, he's to the house. That's a touchdown.
Very close to the arm, not coming forward there. That is a interesting decision. They're not going to buzz down to review it. That could have been ruled a fumble conceivably. It wasn't, and now Brooks is knocked down across the 25. Let's take another look at that. Too late for replay, Bill Lamagnier, but that was close.
It was. I'm actually surprised they didn't shut it down to take a look.
Is the arm going forward?
I've got the hand still up. Ball's off his hand, then his hands comes forward. I'm really surprised it wasn't shut down.
Williams dodging pressure, leans into a throw. It's a downfield battle and a catch made by Marvin Mims. He just fought off B.J. Foster, an enormous gain.
It's a gutsy throw, but at this point in the game, you love to see it. The defender never sees the ball. Foster never sees the ball. That's why, as a quarterback, even though you see coverage, you throw it up and allow the receiver a chance to adjust back to it. Mims, almost like he's tracking a ball, hitting the outfield, just waiting to adjust at the last second and go find it. B.J. Foster never saw the ball.
You got a play that might have been ruled a fumble, isn't, and then a 47-yard gain. Sooners threatening inside the 30. Gray spinning free and wrestled down after about a 9-yard gain by Thompson.
He ends up getting off his back foot. His momentum's going away from the throw, but still has enough on it. And look at Mims like an outfielder, just adjust to the ball. Foster could not adjust back because he didn't see it.
Foster's 3 inches taller than Mims, but that wasn't about height.
No.
It's about awareness.
Location. He's got Mims in the slot there.
Gray makes a cut and is just tackled. Shoestring grab there by Brockermeyer.
What a different feel when Eric Gray gets in the game. Kennedy Brooks has been pounding this defense with physicality, and we've seen Eric Gray now come in with quickness.
Slant. West. Knocked down. Is this the drive when Eric Gray finally gets in the end zone. Hasn't scored a touchdown in his Oklahoma career yet. He's been tackled at the 1 yard line numerous times. This would be sweet for him if he could pay the drive off.
And with his drive, they make a switch, get fresh bodies on the field for Oklahoma. Texas does not.
All of a sudden, Lincoln Riley playing with a little bit more tempo with Williams in the game than he was in the first half. Texas defense staggered at the moment. Williams has all day to throw, backpedaling. Now rolling, scanning the end zone, delivers, incomplete. It was beyond the boundary trying to find Michael Woods. Third down coming up.
Keeps that play alive. They just rush 3, drop 8, have everybody really in coverage, trying to keep their eyes on the fleet-footed Caleb Williams and what he can do with his legs.
What do you do if you're Texas here? Do you bring some pressure on the young guy?
They've been bringing late pressure, and it's been pretty effective. I think that time they rushed 3, dropped 8. He had nowhere to throw the ball, so we'll see what they end up choosing to do. I wouldn't be surprised, a little bit of pressure.
Gray motions back in. 2-by-2 look. Play clock at 3. Williams from the pocket delivers a high ball. No chance for Hazelwood. That was just airmailed, and now it's 4th down.
He came free, but he had pressure right in his face. Again, he threw off that back foot.
Riley kind of just shot his glance up to the sky. He didn't want to have to settle for 3 here. Does make it an 8-point game. Burkich, too many field goal attempts for the OU fans liking today. This just from 26 to make it 4 for 4. It's been a long time since the Sooners have been within 1 score in this game. So they drive it 71 yards, under 3 minutes, and there's Lincoln's reaction. Send out the field goal team. But it's a 1-score game. All right, thanks, Kevin. Kickoff taken by Johnson. Slammed hard, does not make it back to the 20-yard line. All-State bus, Aaron Dallas. Wilson spinning around. What's your All-State celebration moment, Kirk?
Arizona State, a bit off the radar, but last night against Stanford at home. How about Jack Jones, DeAndre Pierce? Heck of a play. Arizona State playing great since a loss early in the year. They're 5-1. They have Utah next week.
That's past your bedtime last night. Don't tell me you were up watching Sparky getting it done.
I was watching it. We had a good time last night, right?
We did.
Hanging out a little bit, talking ball.
But then you said, get out of here. I got to go to bed. You're up late and watching back after dark. Wait a minute.
I couldn't turn it off.
Little urgency now, a little pressure. Thompson takes over. Up 8. And he gets swarmed. They sack him inside the 10-yard line.
Brought pressure from out here, bring it up the middle as well. Oklahoma playing with some serious intensity right now. It's Stutzman, the true freshman linebacker that came around the edge, along with Benito.
He's a guy that's been battling an injury, came in questionable today. That's the first time we've called his name, but that is a big play.
This stadium split 50-50. They are right now in the heart of the Crimson and Cream.
Way too often, Thompson and this Texas offense have been behind the sticks after first down. Penalties, sacks, pressured again, throws to the goal line, and long throw incomplete. Moore tried to come back to get it, and it's 3rd and 18.
Alex Grinch has his defensive line stunning, moving, doing a lot of different things to affect the communication. And in front of this crowd, it makes it very difficult on the Texas offensive line to make the proper adjustments. That time Reggie Grimes just shot right through and got pressure on Thompson. I mean, look at that.
This is amazing. Half of the 96,000 jumping around, trying to make it uncomfortable on Thompson. 3rd and very long. Will the Sooners bring more pressure? They do. Thompson from the goal line as he throws. Incomplete again. Quarterback knocked down hard. Nick Benito was there. Texas third 3 and out and 4 possessions in the half. Whittington still down.
Very unusual delivery from Casey Thompson, stepping up, pressured, and watch his feet. It looks like he loses his feet. Somehow he gets the throw off. He lost his footing before Benito. Yeah, before Benito even hit him. So I'm surprised he got anything on that football.
He knew that didn't feel good. He snapped his head up because he couldn't control where the ball was going that well. Mims is the punt returner. That's a good boot by Dicker, and Mims collects it back at the 40-yard line. They have battled from behind all day. Sooners get the ball back now, down only 8.
College football on ABC is presented by Arby's. We have the meats.
Riley said it's all about the hat. One side's going to be posing for pictures with that famed golden hat that sits on top of the trophy for this game. That was invented about the same time they were breaking ground in the stadium back in '29. It used to be the bronze hat, then it got upgraded to the gold hat in the '70s.
Big possession, obviously. Look at these 5 possessions in the red zone. 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. You've got to think, if you're an OU fan, looking back at this game, you'd hate to see it come down to losing potentially by not executing down when you get close to the goal line. They got to punch one in.
Brooks. Oh, just shoestring tackle. Brockermeyer prevented a big gain.
Jordan Whittington, that arm and
diving attempts to make that catch does not look good, that right elbow. That's it, though. You lay everything out there. You make every effort you can to make a catch. You help your quarterback out.
Caleb Williams has been out here for 5 series. And 4 scores, no turnovers.
That's the key right there.
Yep.
Looking to throw on 2nd and 5 and zips it sideline route. That's Mario Williams. Didn't have a catch in the first half. Involved a couple of times here in the second. It's a first down.
Yeah, that Texas brought pressure. Both their linebackers. It was picked up very nicely. I love that he sat in there. He didn't bail. A lot of young quarterbacks, they sense that. They feel that pressure from the inside from backers. They want to run out. They want to do what they were able to do in high school. Instead, he fought that urge, sat there, waited to find an open receiver, and made it the good throw to Mario Williams.
Brooks and Willis in the backfield. Get it out quickly to Williams on the edge. Dodges a couple men. Couldn't keep his balance. Knocked down at the 37. Good first down gain, though.
That's an extension of the run game. That's just, hey, if you have a cushion, throw it. Abort the fake, just throw it. Everybody else thinks it's a run. He sees that cushion. He takes it. It's positive yards on 1st and 10.
Wear and tear begins to be a factor, Kirk. OU has run 20 more plays than Texas. This will be their 70th play on a hot day against this UT defense.
That's a good point.
Off play action. Williams scanning, being chased. Flag is down. This is in the holding zone as he just skips out of bounds, but this will come back.
It's definitely a hold on Oklahoma. Looks like Chris Murray.
Holding, number 56, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
So first official penalty accepted today.
He's the right guard, but watch where he works to get out here, protect the backside off the fake. He wraps him up.
You know what the Texas coaching staff was thinking finally? A lot of teams who play Oklahoma complain that there's a lot of holding going on.
Yeah.
That doesn't get called. They've been penalty free today until that one. So it's 2nd and 14. Pressure again, backpedaling, the outlet to Brooks, who's knocked down. What, did he go down? The tackle.
I think
Sark's convinced his knee went down.
Sark said he's down. I think Kennedy Brooks thought he was down. He kind of let up for a second, and then he didn't hear a whistle, and he just kept going.
Well, I think they're going to have to, unless they're positive, take a look at his elbow. It was not his elbow, it's not his knee, the elbow that may have gone down. And that was right in front of Sarkisian.
Yeah.
brought that to the
Previous
official's
play
attention.
is under further review to see if the runner was down by rule.
Look here. Hit as he throws again.
Yeah. It's the right arm.
Foster comes in. Boom. For
Down
sure.
right there at the 48.
It's a nice play by Foster. Tell you, Kirky, we talked about the wear and tear. These defensive backs have been running around all day. Now you got to come up and play with control and make a crucial tackle like that in space, because the game could get decided on something like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's 15-yard difference.
Yeah.
From where the ball's spotted right now to where it's going to be, you're talking 15 yards. Right now, if this play were to hold up, it's 3rd down and about 4.
You get to sit back and take in the primetime games. Boise State visiting number 10 BYU. You're wondering who can beat the Cougars on their schedule.
After review, the runner was down by rule at the 48-yard line, 3rd down.
That's a massive swing. As you said, instead of 3rd and 4, it's going to be about 3rd and about 18 here. There's VY, Vince Young.
Saw him on the way up the tunnel after game day on my way up here. It's always great to see some of these legends that have played in this great matchup. Man, 10 took Mac Brown to a different level, helping him get over this hump of trying to beat OU in this game. Played with a swagger, and the team fed off.
He didn't start getting along fine now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They do this so much.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 19 officially.
Now you got 2 plays here to pick up 19 yards with 7:40 to go in this game.
Longhorn defense spread out. Brooks is the back. Williams has plenty of time, steps up, launches downfield for Mims. Diving catch! No signal. Touchdown! Are you kidding me? What a play! Marvin Mims hadn't had a touchdown all season. That's one for the rocking chair there.
Unbelievable effort by Marvin Mims. Watch the foot come down. Where the foot comes down, it's not the shoulder, right there. He's inbounds and then the elbow, but that left foot touched to get him inbounds. Watch this, a progressive pylon cam. Check this foot out.
Oh my goodness.
My gosh, he's inbounds.
His laces came close to hitting out of bounds.
I mean, that's inbounds. That last
closer.
Look, that pylon cam might be the look of the year on a big play.
I tell you what, Kirk, there's something about Caleb Williams. I mean, yes, you can say his receivers have made spectacular plays, but there's something about his ability to create moxie.
Belief, moxie. Players want to play for him. Spencer Rattler now.
Back in at a 2-point conversion.
In the game.
This is the first 2-point conversion they've attempted this year. The crowd, a very mixed reaction. This is for the tie to climb all the way back from 21 down. What a time to come back off the shelf. Rattler rolls, fires, caught, conversion good, game time. Drake Stoops. When you think you've seen everything in this rivalry, you're proven wrong.
Wow. Well, if you ever need examples for defensive coaches on the importance of recognizing the football and being able to adjust to the ball as a defender, to this game is it. OU scores, defender loses the ball, and they hit the 2-pointer with Rattler to Stoops.
Marvin Mims, what a play. His toe, a couple inches inbounds from Williams there. Then they bring Rattler off, presumably because he's repped a lot more 2-point conversions than Williams has, and he throws a dime to Stoops.
And give him credit for that.
Even here.
Give Rattler credit for keeping his head about him after this game.
Worthy's going to bring it out. A true freshman making a risky move, does not get back to the 20. And now that Texas offense, Kirk, which has had a few 3-and-outs, are they calling this a fumble? OU celebrating down there in the corner.
They're sure talking about it.
And I think he was down, but OU was just celebrating a great kick coverage and the fact that they've got momentum all on their side here.
Here's this going back to this play again by Mims. The adjustment, defender done, never finds it. The fact that Mims is able to get that foot down is incredible. There's our pylon cam, progressive pylon cam. That left foot, so close, but stays in bounds to set up that touchdown.
I'll tell you what, they need to review this. Texas offense is on the field, and it appears that Worthy
the runner was down by rule.
may have lost the ball here. The true
review.
freshman, who's had a spectacular game, scored in the first play of the game, but chose to bring this out from deep in the end zone. And watch here, before he goes to the ground,
it's Caleb Kelly that's in there, the veteran.
Out, he's got it already.
Yeah, they just took
it away.
Yeah, Caleb Kelly, who's been through a lot over the last couple years, a veteran, gets that left hand wrapped around the ball, left arm, and before Worthy can go down, he takes it away from him.
That's a dude who's played, what 6 or 7, 8 years of football here.
He's been
taking the ball away from a guy who was in high school a year ago. Worthy made a tough decision. All day long, returners have not chosen to bring those kickoffs out, and if this stands, then I don't see how it couldn't. Oklahoma's going to be set up at the 19-yard line. You wondered who's going to make the crucial mistake.
Yeah.
It's about big plays. Often it's controversial, but often it's just a mistake in the moment. The intensity, and in this case, an inexperienced player.
Oklahoma has outscored Texas in his second half, 21-3.
Longhorns have not had a turnover today until perhaps this one.
It was 28-7 Texas, and it was all Texas early in this game. It was 14-0 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, 2 minutes in.
Just another instant classic of how this game can go back and forth.
But how about Caleb Kelly? We haven't called his name a lot, Kirk. He's been a starter. He's been a key part of the defense. He's had different roles over the years.
Stripped the ball from Texas before the runner was down by rule. 1st and 10, Oklahoma at the 18-yard line.
And the Crimson half of this Cotton Bowl going crazy. The burnt orange half is stunned, and you feel good for this guy making an enormous play in this rivalry.
Yeah, think about it. Not playing over the last few years because of injuries. Instead of giving up, he wanted to keep playing, keep trying to get an opportunity. He's been backed up as a linebacker, makes his presence felt. Maybe the turning point play of the game on special teams to rip that ball away from the freshman. Caleb Williams now back in the lineup.
Sooners, chance to take the lead for the first time. Kennedy Brooks, direct snap, breaking into the secondary, barrels into the end zone. It's OU on top. Just an insane last 5 minutes. A circus catch for a touchdown, 2-point conversion, fumble on the kickoff, and a one-play, 18-yard drive. And somehow, folks in burnt orange find themselves behind midway fourth quarter. Insane.
What a job up front by the offensive line, led by Chris Murray, leading it away around for the touchdown.
The Thompson and the Texas team answer now. And Lane Kiffin's old buddy Steve Sarkisian suddenly finds his offense down by 7. It's Worthy not back. Good team to kick this time, and that's what should have happened last time. So
go back to this touchdown and watch what you see with the right guard pulling around here, Chris Murray. What I love are the receivers. Stoops out there. The tight end is helping out. 9, Wills gets a block into the left. 11, Hazelwood. There's nobody left. Nobody left. It's great blocking on the perimeter to pick up that big run, and you can see Xavier Worthy saying, fellas, that's on me. That's my bad.
And Sarkisian gave him a smile, tried to get his spirits up. This is the guy that, of course, scored that 75-yard reception on the first play of the game. For Williams, 7 drives he's led for Oklahoma. They've scored in 6 of them. Now Casey Thompson suddenly has to respond down a score. Delivers a long first down throw, and they get the ball to Worthy. And holds onto the ball, picks up about 4.
Again, love to see that. Steve Sarkisian, while we were away, went over to the young freshman, kind of patted him on the chest. You could just see a smile from Sark saying, hey, man, Relax. Don't worry about it. Put that one behind you. We're going to come right back to you. It's a coach who believes in a young player.
Certainly believes in his future. Thinks that Worthy is a special talent. It's going to make a big impact in Austin. 2nd and 6. Thompson launching downfield. Going for him again. Catch made! Instant redemption. Worthy inside the 25. How do you like that?
Man, I got chills on that play right there, man. I love this. First play to 8 after the fumble. Second play, he gets the young freshman McCutcheon turned around, ball underthrown. He adjusts back and makes the play. Good for you. Worthy on a big play.
48 yards. Now Bijan Robinson. They've done a tremendous job getting him to the ground. Perry and Winfrey grabbed him, Kirk. The one big run early in the 3rd quarter and that part of that field goal drive, nothing since.
No, they're doing a much better job of not letting him get started. When he gets going, he is a handful for those linebackers and safety. The difference to me has been the interior. You've seen Winfrey and others being able to get to him near the line of scrimmage as opposed to letting him get on the edge where he's got room to work. That's been taken away from him. This is going to have to be Casey Thompson. He's going to have to keep making plays with his arm.
2nd and 12. Robinson's got it, and they've got him again. They are all over Bijan Robinson. Marcus Stripling made the tackle. It's 3rd and 11 now, Kirk.
And again, they got penetration. This defensive front's doing a heck of a job. Linebackers are keyed in. They're taking away the cutback lane. It's a big 3rd down. Now you know Casey Thompson's going to throw here.
2 plays to get the 11 yards. You would presume Sarkisian is not thinking field goal here.
First couple plays, he won up top, going to Worthy.
That single coverage up there again. Checking the sidelines. Play clock winding down inside 5. Sooners bring pressure. Thompson launching for the end zone and overshoots his man. Tried to get it to Marcus Washington. Risky throw, and it's 4th down.
Very low percentage play there. He had a matchup on the kind of a slot fade to the bigger receiver Washington, who was matched up one-on-one with Billy Bowman.
You're thinking if you got 2 plays, maybe get something to higher.
Yeah, that had to be a perfect throw. Now he moves Worthy, who's had a big day, moves him to the inside to his left.
4th and 11. Sooners show early pressure, now back off. Thompson scanning the sidelines. Play clock winding down. Got to hurry here, and they'll take a timeout. Had 3 of them to play with. This play 2 important. And it was Oklahoma given some pre-snap looks that forced the timeout. Well, the key plays for Oklahoma to kind of climb out of this 21-point hole.
I think that may be the turning point. Fumbled snap, turns it into a touchdown. He puts the ball up in the air to Mims. The defender never sees the ball, adjusts back, and then the 2-pointer by Rattler. And the very next kickoff, they're able to strip it with Caleb Kelly to get the great field position in the very first play. Kennedy Brooks takes in for a touchdown.
It's been hard to narrow down a highlight reel.
I know.
99 points scored and counting, and so many things have happened. It seems like a day and a half ago that Texas had jumped to that quick lead, 14-0 in 2 minutes.
If you're a Texas fan, that timeout was critical because if you don't make the first down, you still have Oklahoma pinned. You would have had 3 timeouts. Maybe it's 3 runs. You use your timeouts, you get the ball back. Texas had to use that timeout, see if Sark can draw up a play to get the matchup that he wants.
And after that 48-yard catch by Worthy, they were in good shape. Robinson stopped on a couple of runs, and now 4th and long. Robinson motions out to the left slot. Thompson's looking that direction, launches for the end zone, looking for Robinson. He was double covered, no chance. Quarterback knocked down. OU takes over.
Yeah, he was hit as soon as he threw this football. The pressure by Isaiah Thomas to his right, spin move on the tackle. Benito gets there as well. It was a race to the quarterback. He felt that. And even though they didn't get the sack, they have impacted him in the accuracy, and that was covered so well downfield. Now you got, again, the 2 timeouts to try to see if you can prevent them from getting that first down.
That's how they took a shot downfield for Robinson. So effective this season and almost unstoppable. They get the ball to him in the flat. That has not been a part of the attack today. Wonder why they wouldn't think of a safer throws. Those were difficult throws for Thompson to make on 3rd and 4th down. Now you figure grind it away with Kennedy Brooks. And the problem pre-snap. The play clock was winding down. It's a false start.
It's winding down, and when quarterbacks see that play clock wind down, they have a tendency to clap real fast.
Number 54, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So when he's clapping real fast, he's trying to obviously tell the center, come on, let's go, we're running out of time. And unfortunately, it also makes the other lineman know that the snap is intimate, and it's going to be coming quickly. And that time the left guard jumped.
See how much trust they have in Williams to throw the ball here now behind the 6 on 1st down. You know, it's a keeper, and he's going to be smothered after a short gain by Overshown. So 2nd down and long.
Sark holds on to the 2 timeouts.
Expect a couple of more runs here.
With Lincoln Riley, you never know. Riley, you never know.
That's right. He'll often be aggressive.
Yeah.
Think outside the box, and that doesn't always work out. He's got a pretty good track record when he does trust the quarterback to make plays. Again, this is a true freshman. Not started a game up there directing the protection. Brooks. And they slam him down at the 25-yard line. Clock continues to run.
Yeah, still
Start holding those 2 timeouts.
Yep.
It'll be 3rd down. Could use one if they get the stop here.
Love how much confidence he has in Caleb Williams. I mean, Caleb Williams is in control.
Enough confidence to have to throw here?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Hazelwood comes in motion to the left. Snap gets away. Williams chases it down and flips it short to Brooks, who's going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage. Yet another snap gets away from the quarterback. This time, no miracle touchdown. Just pleased not to lose the ball.
I think they're going to be doing a lot of CQ exchange in practice.
What in the world? He's made the simple things look hard and the hard things look easy today, right? Come on. Punt coming up to Kevin Nagandi. SEC last week. Okay, first order of business for Michael Turk. Get the punt away. He had his first punt today blocked. Texas peels back, doesn't go after it. It's a low kick. And a chance for Jamison. Never could get going. He's got great speed. But here's the Texas field position at the 40-yard line. 60 yards from the end zone. 1 timeout and 2:55 to go. Goodyear providing the aerial coverage for every mile on the road to greatness. Goodyear more driven. And we'll see if Casey Thompson can produce some late heroics. It was an electric start. He could do no wrong really in the first half. But this Texas offense has been stalled. Pass protection, penalties have been a problem. The running game hasn't gotten going.
Remember, Joshua Moore also a big first half, made some big plays, getting behind the OU secondary.
Worthy over on the right side. He's guarded by another true freshman. Sarkisian testing the middle, hoping that Robinson can turn a routine handoff into a huge gain.
Again, OU doing a very, very good job, much better job at the defensive line, getting off the blocks, being physical up front.
Here comes late pressure. Thompson backpedals, flips it off underneath. Catch made by Worthy, who fights near the marker. Right near the 50, it's going to be 3rd and short.
Yep. He is short. Nick Benito came off of his receiver he had in downfield and came off that to make that tackle.
Texas playing with tempo. And have cost him. Thompson went to the line under center to run a sneak here, but they weren't set. Now this makes it third and long.
Yeah,
Ouch.
the center again moves. Second time we've seen that.
Number 65, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Jake Majors is anticipating the snap count. 65. He flinched. They had an easy first down on third and a few feet, and now goes back to a long 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
Up and see it now. Tempo, you outbox yourself.
Yeah.
Make it tougher here. That's Worthy in motion.
There's the pressure.
It's picked up, ball out, first down catch made to the 45-yard line. Cade Brewer. That was a dart.
We talked about Cade Brewer with Sark last night. He gets excited about his tight ends. He's always been that way. And they're reliable on those third and mediums.
Very important in the running game, too, the tight ends of Texas. Thompson on first down, throws far side, wide open fingertip catch made by Worthy. They have not had an answer for number 8 all day.
Eight catches for 230 yards. That's why Sark went over to him, patted him on the chest, and said, forget about that fumble, man. We're going to make more plays here in this game, and you are going to be making plays for us. And he has.
And he's broken a Texas freshman record for receiving yards in a game with that snap. Robinson, I fake it to him. They get to slant there just over Moore's hands. So Texas all in on this possession.
Oh, yeah.
This is the last chance.
And this is where you work your 2-minute drill after every practice, especially on Thursday with young quarterbacks. You try to give them as much of a real feel, good against good. First string defense, it's defending Casey Thompson. Try to get the pressure on him with a pass rush. Make him feel like this to see how he'll execute once he gets out there on a Saturday. This is his big moment right here.
Thompson steps up, delivers for Worthy. Touchdown, Texas! Charles Thompson high-fiving in the Bird Orange section. You could write a movie about Xavier Worthy's day here today. Everything has happened. My goodness.
I know we're going to talk a lot about Worthy, and we should, but Casey Thompson, the poise that he just demonstrated on this drive, remarkable.
It's a 31-yard strike, a 60-yard drive. Did it in just a minute 32. They did leave the Sooner offense a minute 23 to work with. But Worthy, since he had the ball stolen by Kelly on that kickoff return, has been tremendous in the last couple possessions. 48 apiece.
Well, you've got a freshman right here matched up against a freshman, McCutcheon, across from him. Crossing route takes a lot of time. You need time to be able to throw this. It's man-to-man. Put it up in the air, out in front of him, and let him adjust to the ball where he can high point it. McCutcheon knows what's coming. He's trying to race him to that point, but he has leverage on the young freshman corner. And again, the placement of that football in such a long throw, timing perfect. And I keep saying this, Casey Thompson just coming of age right here in the Cotton Bowl in this biggest game of his career.
5 touchdown passes for Thompson. Yeah, just his fourth career start, his first taste of action in this. He stood in the sidelines and watched Sam Ehlinger play Oklahoma 5 times in his career. This has now become the highest combined score, or second highest in regulation. They went 4 overtimes last year to get to 98.
Yeah, and I think you just said something that a lot of young quarterbacks in this transfer portal era that we live in should pay attention to what Casey Thompson's been through. This is his 3rd year in this program. First 2 years, he could have been impatient, could have been frustrated, sat behind Sam Ehlinger, could have been like, when am I going to get a chance to play? Instead, he sat and he learned and he gained experience, even though he wasn't on the field. And now he gets his opportunity to shine, and he's taken advantage of it.
Not the opening day starter again. That was Hudson Card, the freshman out of Austin after the Arkansas game. Sark needed a different energy, different poise. Went to Thompson. he has earned his trust. That was a special drive after nothing had gone right for the Texas offense in the second half. This week's college football rankings brought to you by Capital One. Georgia at Auburn, down an early field goal in the play.
I thought Auburn's defense could keep them in the game. Is Bo Nix going to make enough plays to actually make it interesting in the second half? Ohio State's offense just continuing to churn out yards and points, kind of off the radar a bit until they get some of their bigger games coming up. But here we go, minute 23.
Sooners have 2 timeouts. Gabe Burkich, an excellent leg, long distance kicker. They probably got to go about 45 yards to give him a chance. Long throw. He threaded it in there to Hazelwood. Pick up 9.
Whoa, it's right. He got that in there, but that was really tight coverage. It shows you the confidence that he has in his arm.
Late pressure picked up. Errant throw. Low and behind Hazelwood that time. 1 minute even in this instant classic of the Cotton Bowl.
Which, by the way, with 2 timeouts.
Regulation, I should say.
Yeah, 2 timeouts, and all you need is a field goal. With this quarterback in this system, it's an eternity. He has plenty of time.
Brooks has room, knocked down across the 45-yard line by Ugofu, and they're getting closer to range for Burkich. Mike Black, our spotter, makes the target line about the 39-yard line of Texas. That would be a 56-yarder.
Holding on to those timeouts just in case. You can see
there's just died down, but it's still in the face of Oklahoma. That's a factor if they have to try a long field goal. Empty backfield, plenty of time, zips it. Catch made by Mims, and he's right at the marker. They will stop the clock at 25 seconds.
Texas dropping 2 safeties back deep. They've got 4 guys, actually 5 guys underneath coverage to try to take away and make it tight windows.
They don't need much more to give Burkich a chance. They'd like to get a lot closer. That's Stogner in a long throw, and he is spun down inside the 35.
How about Stogner staying in bounds there? Well, where are the 2 timeouts? And he didn't need to step out of bounds. He got more yards to give his kicker a better chance.
So far, Riley, now they will spend it. Now they will spend it. Don't want to spike it there. It's down to 7 seconds. So, again, keeping that timeout in his pocket the way Sarkisian did at the end of the first half. Get one more chance to try to get Burkich a little closer.
I'm still, you just got to step away for a second and think about what Caleb Williams is doing on this stage and stepping in when they were down big for Spencer Rattler and the poise that he has played with. Think about this. Because of COVID last year, he did not play high school football. He's a true freshman who did not play high school football in 2020. Comes into Oklahoma as a young true freshman.
Got here early.
Got in early, sitting behind Spencer Rattler. Tremendous future and upside, but Rattler, he's a Heisman guy. You're sitting behind, and you get thrown into this game. He's played some short yardage and red zone, but you get put into this as your first real experience. Didn't play football last year, and you're out on this stage executing and playing like you've been there as a third-year guy.
Remember way back his first play, it was a 4th and 1. They bring him in there. I think it's going to be just enough to get the first down. Races to a long touchdown run. That kind of set the tone. But still, that was Rattler's game at that point. After the second turnover, Rattler was pulled. And it's been Williams since then, although Rattler came back in to complete the pass to Soup for the 2-point conversion. So 10 seconds to go.
Now it's all about trying to get it where the kicker. Does a kicker like it in the middle of the field? Does he like it on the left hash?
He likes it closer.
Yeah, of course.
They can run or throw with that timeout to use here. Direct snap. Brooks trying to make something happen. He breaks free. Kennedy Brooks says, forget the field goal. Win it with a touchdown. What happens on this field of this rivalry is remembered forever. And whatever side you're on, whether it's euphoria or heartbreak, this is a game that will never be forgotten today in Dallas. 1 second to play, and Oklahoma is going to win it from 21 down with a late 75-yard touchdown drive.
The exact same play that they ran after they ripped the fumble away from Worthy, and the next play they scored on a touchdown with Kennedy Brooks. They ran the exact same counter play.
The focus rightfully was on Bijan Robinson, the Texas tailback. He ran for 137, but Kennedy Brooks stole the show. In terms of runners in this game, 25 for 217. 2 touchdowns, included the game winner. Burkett for the PAT. They've added 2 seconds back on the clock. Incredible afternoon in Dallas. This team was on the ropes 2 minutes into the game, down 2 touchdowns. And down 3 touchdowns later in the first quarter.
But here's the touchdown with Stoops again coming around. Watch Murray, the right guard. Nice block there, but the big block is 9. Braden Wills on the linebacker. Boom! Sustains the block. Stoops makes the great block. Look at 11. Hazelwood. Second time we've seen in this comeback the Oklahoma receivers and tight ends doing a great job of sustaining blocks to open it up for Kennedy Brooks to not get 5 or 10 yards, but to accelerate through that defense, take it all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Last year was a touchdown pass caught by Stoops in the 4th overtime that made the difference. OU's going to make it 4 in a row over Texas. This one perhaps even more heartbreaking because Texas had things in control. Thompson was tremendous in that game-tying drive, but they left the Sooners a minute 23. And Caleb Johnson knew what to do with it, or Caleb Williams knew what to do with it.
It's just an all-timer. I mean, you and I get asked, we've been calling games for a long time. What's your favorite game you ever called? What's the this game? It was 28-7 Texas in dominating fashion. And you sit your starting quarterback, you bring in Caleb Williams, which has been a controversial topic in Norman already coming into this game, and the kid delivers, the team feeds off of it. They come alive in the second half, score 35 points in the second half. Remarkable.
Now, under duress and against the odds, the future arrives early at Oklahoma. I mean, Williams, a special talent. As you said, everybody in the country wanted this guy, and they firmly believe that he's going to have a big future, but it's supposed to start next year. A situational guy this year. This is Rattler's show. Preseason Heisman favorite, said the odds makers.
There's changing of the guard today in Dallas.
Squib kick. Texas needs to take it to the house. Brewers, the tight ends, got it. Hurdles a man, but he'll be knocked down. And Oklahoma comes all the way back from 3 touchdowns behind to break Texas hearts again. And it's the Sooners to be wearing that golden hat one more time. The highest scoring edition in this tremendous rivalry. 103 incredible points, and the golden hat awaits. To Holly with Lincoln Riley.
Well, Coach, you made a difficult decision at the half. What went into bringing Caleb Williams out to start this game and change the course of it?
He made some plays. It was a tough decision. But honestly, I mean, you want to know something about our team? You know, Spencer comes back in there and gets a 2-point conversion that we don't win without. So that's what it's all about.
Your defense showed up big time. They were able to limit Texas in this second half. How?
Speed did his best. You know, we got great penetration really the whole day. We just, you know, we said we just got to settle in. Like we felt like we were playing well with the initial surge we did, but we felt the locker room was as confident as you could get for us being down as many as we were. And I give it all the credit to our kids. They were into it. What a hell of a win.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Holly. Thank you.
And the usual mix of elation and dejection. Words can't really describe this one, Kirk. Adjectives are exhausted.
All-timer, man. This is great.
55-48, Oklahoma. Hope you've enjoyed this spectacle. Get here and see it in person if you get a chance, folks. It's worth it. Game produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Derek Mobley. Thrilled to have you with us this afternoon. On behalf of our entire crew, for Kirk and Holly, Chris Fowler saying so long from the Cotton Bowl. After the break, stay tuned. We'll join Boise State and BYU in progress.